After such an explosive and surprising day one, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again for another exciting day at Android BGMS Master Series Season 3, powered by Garnier Men. My name is Scared. I'm going to be your host and caster, and joining alongside me is going to be none other than the prestigious man himself, Arka. Arka, welcome to the BGMS Master Series. How are you doing?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty prestigious after you said that, but again, I'm feeling, very excited compared to day one because new groups are coming in. There's going to be more action.
Absolutely true. And talking about action, yesterday was filled with a lot of that, specifically thanks to 8-Bit playing so explosively during the entire power play, and that team is topping the charts. And honestly, that's one part of it, because REVENANT are also following them closely up in the shadows.
Oh yeah, speaking about shadows, we also have to speak about Shadow himself, the IGL who took VASISTA Esports to top 4 by securing #2 in 2 games where nobody were expecting them to have the highest number of placement points.
100% agreed at that point. And honestly, talking about a team that surprised us all was definitely Carnival Gaming, right?
Oh, yes.
Because that team securing a chicken dinner in the second game itself, when it was playing so very silently throughout the game, it's actually mind-blowing as well, because they've got a new IGL.
Obviously, right? But before we break down more about the fights and the IGL, we're going to look at the format of this tournament. The opening week, which is going on right now, it consists of 24 teams, in which 20 were invited and 4 were qualified. From here on, we can expect 18 to move forward.
Absolutely true. The bottom 6 will be sent backwards and their fate will be in the hands of the audience, right? Their voting will bring 2 of the team backs, and all of those 20 teams will move to the league week, which will start on 22nd July and will move on till 4th of August. There are so many surprises out there, but the fun fact is only top 4 will qualify for the finals, because the rest 16 will be sent to playoffs, where once we move to the playoffs, we're going to see all those 16 teams compete, and only 12 of them are going to make it to the finals.
Oh yes, and that's the exciting part of it all. The grand finals, which is going to take place, where top 4 from league weeks and 12 from the playoffs will be playing to see who's going to be crowned the champions this time around. And I strongly believe this time it's going to be a very, very tough competition, because we have all the top contenders of our country playing in this tournament.
And since you've already been talking about so much tough competition, the reason for that is obviously this power play rule, wherein you've got the opportunity to gather double the points for all the eliminations that you will get in the first circle itself. You drop on, the power play begins, and it will continue till the first blue circle touches the circle and the second stage is started. So that is where we saw most of the action happen. Even yesterday, I think so, it was WSP who secured 16 points in the power play.
I mean, they were just welcoming their guests with open arms, or I would rather say that open fire, and they made sure, they made sure they pick up all those finishes. So it's important for you to strike only when the iron is hot. If you be a little bit aggressive, not knowing what is your game plan, I believe you're gonna fall down like how CarpeDiem did, because 2 games, just 1 point after such a great performance. That was the least expected team to go down so early.
I would 100% agree, and it seems like those 2 experienced players now being brought in with 2 of the rookies, you could say.
Yes.
Yeah, it has not panned out as we expected it to. But let's move forward and have a look at the groups as well, right? Because I've always been mentioning that Group C is the group of death. But I would still consider the fact that Group F, since they'll be playing for the first time right now, this entire group can pack a punch.
Oh, for sure. Vikings over there is going to be the name to watch out for. Let's not forget FS as well. These are the teams who made their name from being a little bit aggressive when it comes to a community. Let's not forget Team Tamilas as well. This is also one of those teams who are well known for their aggression. So obviously the power play is going to force them to go and take those fights, and probably we can expect some early 8-pointer from each of these teams.
I really agree to that fact, and I'm so very excited to see as well how they are going to move forward. But one team that has basically surprised all of us is definitely going to be Carnival Gaming, because we've been talking about this team, how they've got a new IGL at this point, and even after that, Hector pulling his team together and getting them the chicken dinner on the very first day, that speaks volumes.
Oh, obviously, right. But again, at the same time, we'd like to hear from Hector inside what he has to say. So to you guys, this is a special video.
सुनो मेरी बात, ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो सकता कि तुम हमें बोलोगे कि हमें स्लॉट क्यों मिलना चाहिए। मोस्टली सारे ऑफिशियल एंड सारे मेजर्स खेले हुए, सारे क्वालिफाइज भी करे एंड परफॉर्म करे हमने। ऐसे बहुत सारी टीम्स है जो शायद है ना फैन फेवरेट या फैन बेस या उनके चक्कर में स्लॉट मिलता है। हमें भी मिलता था, ठीक है, हमें अभी भी मिलेगा तो हम क्लेम कर लेंगे, कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं उसकी बात। बट तुम बोलने वाले कोई कुछ नहीं होते हो, कितना भी कर लो, अगर करना है तो क्वालिफाई करके आ जाओ, सिंपल सी चीज़ है। मैनेजमेंट है और के एंड उनके बीच में होता है स्लॉट का, हम नहीं डिसाइड करते, प्लेयर्स डिसाइड नहीं करते किसको जाना चाहिए किसको नहीं जाना चाहिए। तो दैट्स इट।
Well, it's quite a few words being thrown out from him, and honestly understandable as well, right? Because this team has proved itself for over the past few years, not just in this entire organization.
Yeah.
Back when they were one of the Souls lineup as well, right?
Yep.
We always expected some big things from them, but it just seemed that the fire has kinda been brought down.
I would say that, you know, they made a proper comeback in the game too. The
Yes.
first game was just 2 points. That is where everybody were thinking that, oh, again, there's going to be a downfall. But suddenly out of nowhere, that controlled aggression, the new IGL has done some wonders to bring his team back on the top two.
Absolutely true. And since you're talking about the top two, I love the fact how you gave the throw to me on that one, because the second team is Revenant.
Oh, yes.
No one expected this team to be here, and as we mentioned during the death segment, that this team is playing through the shadows, getting those eliminations as well. And it's Sensei up with 3 new players. You can argue that Blaze has been in the scene for a long time now, but again, 2 of those players, this entire lineup is very new and yet performing like basically a team right now. That's pretty difficult to pull in. Yes, I know I mentioned that performing like a team is kind of a bit vague, but they're like a well-oiled machine at this point.
I mean, if you're being led by Lion, what do you expect? You know, that is what it literally is happening out there. The wounded Lion himself, Sensei, is doing his best. He's making sure that he brings young talent this time around who's going to listen to whatever he has to say, because he knows this game inside out. So what he would want to do is make sure that he goes and captures that. But before we speak more about this, Sensei has a few words for you guys.
मेरे
Let's
जितने
go
भी
ahead.
पुराने लाइनअप थे उन सब में एक चीज़ कॉमन थी, ड्रामा, ईगो इश्यूज और कलेश। इस लाइनअप में ये सब चीज़ें नहीं हैं। मुझे इस लाइनअप में बहुत भरोसा है, ठीक है, बहुत पीसफुल है लाइनअप, सारे बंदे हम्बल है और इनमें एक बात है, जो नए प्लेयर रहते हैं, जो भूख रहती है, इनमें वो सब है। इन्हें बस शांति से समझाओ कि भाई तुम ये चीज़ गलत करो, खुद एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं, और ये चीज़ मुझे काफ़ी टाइम से चाहिए थी। तो ये जो लाइनअप होने वाली है ना बाबा, ये देखने लायक होगी, जिसमें रहने वाला हूँ मैं, सैफ, फ्लॉक एंड ब्लेज।
Well. I agree to that, right? Because all of these 4 players, they used to play for different organizations previously.
Exactly.
And yet, playing like a well-oiled unit, all you want is just players being humble and accepting their mistake. And
Exactly.
Sensei can lead such a lineup.
I mean, it's good to see an IGL like that who's ready to put his head down and say, you know what,
True.
I made a mistake. But yet again, I'm looking forward to see his held high, because he's one of those IGLs who's capable of a lot.
I 100% agree. And since we're already talking about capabilities, right, I really want to talk about the fact how even Orangutan, they
Oh,
were
yes.
performing so very good, specifically under the leadership of Aru. People were thinking, they were questioning as to what might eventually happen for Orangutan as well, since they've basically let go of Ash and Ash has moved into forever. I was basically one of the people as well who basically had his own doubts, but with the way how they were playing yesterday, how the controlled aggression was working for them, I think so the Apes are back to claim the throne of the jungle.
Absolutely, because 3 players came in with Aru, right? But it was all about how the old players are going to sync with these new ones. But still, you know, AKOP yesterday has done an amazing job. He's a top contender when it comes to the highest number of finishes. He's been doing the job. And I do believe that, you know, when there's a proper sync of the senior players and the new ones coming in, we can expect wonders from the side of Orangutan.
Absolutely true. And since you were already talking about the fact who's basically are the players who've got few of the most finishes, I think so we cannot keep 8-bit out of that conversation
yes.
for a long time. I mean, this team was fragging the entire lobby yesterday. Entire lobby. There were certain situations that even few of the most experienced IGLs out there, specifically like Jelly as well from Godlike, they fumbled even when 8-bit were in a disadvantage.
Oh yes, and it seemed like, you know, they had a buffer number where they thought that if we're able to reach so many points, we're just going to hold on to our horses, and after that we're just going to go wild. Even in the final circle 3v2, they're just going to use the vehicles to finish off everybody else. That is the kind of aggression the points table is pushing, or the new format is pushing them, and that's why I believe this becomes one of the special tournaments out there.
This is a perfect statement from you, one of the most special tournaments, because everywhere we go, we see slow-paced gameplays. We see all the teams just taking their time, you know, getting a bit laid back, enjoying. But this one, it's basically like you've got to go in aggressive, you have to play it fast.
Yeah.
You don't have any more chances, right? You only have 2 games, and
Yeah.
that on a good day. Otherwise, you're going to have one game a day. So that basically means that you've got to grab as many points as possible. If that is not going to happen, you will basically be on the bottom of the pack, and that is exactly where we're seeing quite a few teams, experienced one as well, specifically like Team Forever.
Oh yes, Team Forever. I was expecting a lot from this team, obviously because Ash also is being placed at a certain situation where it's important for him to prove that, you know, is one of the IGLs to look out for. And probably because of that pressure, there were a little bit of a small mistakes, taking those 4v4s or even that rotations. But again, you know, it's just 2 games, right? They still have 3 more in the hand, and I do believe that, you know, they can bounce back much more stronger.
Talking about bouncing back as well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I know everyone's going to be ready for all the teams, so we're going to head out to a short break. We'll be back after that one.
Wow. Circle to search. Only on Android.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Another day, another road, and we go. A ride with a win, moving up, we know where to begin. Wicked on the wheels, get wicked on the wheels. On a ride we go. Wicked on the wheels, get wicked on the wheels. Another day, another road, and we go.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Philips One Blade. Move fearlessly. Innovation and you. Philips.
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. 2x brightening power. With charcoal and vitamin C, deeply cleanses dirt and pollution to fight dullness for instantly bright skin. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. By Garnier Men.
Red Bull gives you wings.
そんな場所だ。全部壊してみっか。俺は塔のてっぺんに登るんだ。
Red Bull gives you wings.
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash with charcoal and vitamin C. Deeply cleanses dirt and pollution for instantly bright skin. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash by Garnier Men.
What's up, everyone? Come on in.
I got 100 ways that I could make you look. You cannot read me, I ain't no page in a book. But there's 100 ways that I could make you look.
Wow.
Make you make you look.
Wow.
Look, make you look.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new season of daily BGMI action. This time with even more competition. This time with even more comedy. With a lot more jaw-dropping moments. And also a few that many would want to forget. And for the first time ever, enjoy BGMI Master Series with Android. Welcome back to the biggest ever BGMI Carnival on national TV.
दिन 24 टीमें एंड दिस इज द लॉन्गेस्ट लैन इन द कंट्री. लेकिन एक सवाल बनता है कि टूर्नामेंट्स तो बहुत होते हैं, व्हाट मेक्स दिस टूर्नामेंट स्पेशल? वेल, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, this tournament is on mainstream TV. It's on Star Sports. So there is your mic drop moment. My name is Suren Sundaram and I welcome you to action on day 2 of the Android BGMI Master Series Season 3. हमारा Nordwin Arena, हमारा ये Coliseum जो है वो बिल्कुल तैयार है. But hey man, we need to give you a recap of what happened on opening day. सबसे पहले Team 8-bit winner chicken dinner निकाला पहले मैच में. दूसरे मैच में भी their performance was lit and right now they're on the top of the leaderboard with 35 points. लेकिन आपको याद है कि इस हफ्ते के एंड में हम 4 टीमों के कहने वाले हैं बाय बाय, सी या, टेक केयर. लेकिन वो 4 टीमें जब बाहर जाएंगी, 2 टीमों की पूरी कहानी आपके हाथों में होगी, ऑडियंस के हाथों में. सो 3 टीमें हैं. देयर इज रेवेनेंट, देयर इज ओरंगुटान एंड देयर इज वासिस्ता स्पोर्ट्स. वेल, इन तीनों को अभी भी चांस है कि वो टॉप ऑफ द लीडर बोर्ड जा सकें. एंड सिंस वी स्पोक अबाउट रेवेनेंट, देन इस टूर्नामेंट के पहले क्या कहना है रेवेनेंट के सेंसेई का?
मुझे पता है लोगों के मेरे से काफ़ी उम्मीदें हैं, लोग चाहते हैं कि मैं ट्रॉफी जीतूं, लेकिन मेरा सिर्फ एक ही कहना है, थोड़ा टाइम और रुक जाओ. देखो, जितना आपको मेरी ट्रॉफी का वेट है, जितना इंतजार है, उससे कहीं ज़्यादा मुझे, और मैं हर बार ये बोलता हूँ, आप मानोगे नहीं, इतना भार है मेरे कंधों में. पहले मैं 5 फुट 8 इंच का था, बाहर की वजह से मैं 5 फुट 6 इंच का हो गया हूँ. आप मानोगे नहीं. तो वही बोल रहा हूँ, थोड़ा सब्र करो यार. मैं तो मेहनत करता ही हूँ, हर बार आता हूँ, हर बार जीतने का ट्राई करता हूँ. आज तक मेरे दिमाग में कभी नहीं आया कि यार टॉप 3 आ जाते, पोडियम फिनिश आ जाते. हमेशा एक ही गोल रहा है कि #1 आना है, और वो एक दिन आऊँगा, इतना मुझे भरोसा है. और अगर आप लोग मेरे साथ यहाँ तक टिके हो, यहाँ तक उम्मीदें बनाए अब तक तुमने बना के बैठे हो, तो आई होप थोड़ा सा और रुक जाओ. मेहनत का फल मीठा होता है.
ओके, द मैन ऑफ द मोमेंट, रेवेनेंट के सेंसेई हमारे साथ. 1 सेकंड, होल्ड दिस. भाई 5 फुट 8 इंच की हाइट जब 5 फुट 6 हो जाए तो सवाल तो ये बनता है, ऐसा क्या भार है आपके कंधों पर?
था पिछले टीम में था टीममेट्स का भार, और आपको भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है, भार ज़्यादा बढ़ जाए तो भार फेंक दो. तो वही करा मैंने भी,
भार को दरकिनार किया है. नाउ सेंसेई, कम्युनिटी में यू वन ऑफ द मोस्ट लव्ड रिस्पेक्टेड प्लेयर्स, लेकिन सारे जो आपके फैंस हैं ना, उनका सिर्फ एक ही सवाल है, सेंसेई भाव, ट्रॉफी कब आ रही है? ये जो ट्रॉफी, ये चमचमाती ग्लिटरिंग ट्रॉफी, कि इसमें नाम लिखवा दे रेवेनेंट का?
देखिए, नाम तो मत लिखवाओ, लेकिन हाँ, एक लिस्ट जिसमें सबसे मोस्ट हार्ड वर्किंग टीम का नाम है, जो इस ट्रॉफी के लिए हार्ड वर्क कर रही है उसमें आप लिख सकते हो। और मैं ज़्यादा मतलब बजूंगा नहीं, पहले मेहनत चल रही है, देखते आएगी तो लिखेंगे।
डंका तो तब बजेगा ना जब ट्रॉफी हाथ में होगी ना। कल की बात कर लेते हैं, कल ओपनिंग डे था और आपका जो गेम प्ले था ऐसा लगा कि वो कहते हैं ना बम्बैया वर्ड, सुमड़ी में पॉइंट्स निकाले हैं, छुप छुपा के पॉइंट्स निकाले हैं। क्या स्ट्रैटेजी थी कल?
मेरा यही था कि 4 गेम है, 4 गेम में हमें टॉप 16 टारगेट करना था। फर्स्ट गेम हमने बहुत स्लो पेस खेला ताकि एक मोमेंटम मिले हमें। जैसे हमने फर्स्ट गेम में कुछ 9 पॉइंट इकट्ठा करे, फिर हमारा ये था चलो अब एक मोमेंटम मिल गया है, इसे थोड़ा और बेटर बनाते हैं। फिर हमने सेकंड गेम में 17 पॉइंट लिए। तो आज का हमारे बस ये रहेगा कि अब हम कहीं हद तक क्वालिफाई हो चुके हैं आई गेस, तो आज थोड़ा एग्रेसिव खेलने का ट्राई करेंगे।
Well, Revenant will be in action और कल ओपनिंग डे था, इतना सारा ड्रामा देखने को मिला, लेकिन ये तो टीजर था बॉस, असली पिक्चर तो अभी बाकी है। मैच शुरू होने में ज्यादा देर नहीं है, सबसे ज्यादा एक्साइटेड है हमारे कास्टर्स।
That is a very true thing that you said out there, Surendra. We are super excited and to see what's going to happen in the game itself, right? Because Sensei mentioning, yes, he was under a lot of pressure previously in the previous organizations, but this time around, he's got a very promising lineup.
Oh yes, as you said, the undergods themselves joining him and making sure that they follow his footsteps very, very carefully, because this man is experienced. You can buy anything in this world, but not experience, my friend.
Yes, I would 100% agree. But since you've already been talking about the experience, right, there's a situation that we've got to look at first, and that is how 8-Bit's experience has led them into the top of the leaderboard. We're going to have a look at the overall rankings, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see, spoilers alert, 8-Bit is the first one. Second is going to be none other than Revenant themselves, who we just saw Sensei getting that interview of, and at the same time, Orangutan, my man, still on third.
Following them up is going to be the silent killers themselves, VASISTA Esports. So, before we break down and make sure that there's no more suspense left, we'll just wait for the overall standing to come up. But before that, there are several disappointments of yesterday, which we have to, put some light on, right? Because CarpeDiem is one of those, Team Forever is one of those. Godlike themselves, after such a big fan following coming their way, they were still not able to live up to the expectations, even though they've done a decent job so far.
I would 100% agree, plus the new edition of Punk as well. It kinda did not reflect a lot into how they were supposed to be playing. But yeah, at the same time, since we're already having the overall rankings in front of us, one team that definitely did impress me was WSB Gaming, right? They only played one game. This is a team out of all the top 10 that has only played one game and still is at the 7th position, thanks to those constant Pochinki wipeouts.
Oh, hopefully we'll be able to see some more, because entertainment is all we need. As of now, we're going to look at a little bit on the lower side of it all, because as we can see, CarpeDiem just 1 point, God's Reign, a big name yet again with just 2 points, Team Zero, who's got the big name Scout with them. They played one game. Yes, I do agree that it's too early for us to say that they've not had a decent day, but still, they've just got 3 points in that one game they've played.
Yes, and that's the thing, right? Even seeing Team Z there. Now, these are certain situations where you would not want these teams to be at, specifically considering the amount of experience that the lineup has. And this is how we started things up already in the beginning. But yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how all those teams who are yet to play one of their game are going to perform today. Specifically Vikings, talking about FS. These are the teams that will play their first game today. So I'm really intrigued to see how it's going to pan out for them.
Hopefully we'll be able to see some comebacks as well, but brand new group is going to be coming in as well. There are going to be 4 aggressive teams trying to join the fray and make sure even they can put some really good points on the table, because an average of 10 points is the minimal which we are looking forward for, because this is where the power plays are coming in, impact players are coming in. So I would love to see them contest and make sure it just requires one good game for them to qualify.
That's the perfect point you mentioned. Just one good game, and that will basically open the doors for you to so many possibilities, right? Because all you need to do is just be in the top 18. That's a simple thing that you have to do. But honestly, since we've already been talking about the games, let's have a look at the schedule as well, because the map 1 is going to be Erangel, match 2 is going to be on Miramar. C, D, E and F are the groups that are going to play first, and then A, D, E and F. So group C, that is the group of death, which I always call, is only playing once.
I mean, to make it easier for the viewers, why don't we call it CDEF and ADEF for the day?
Yes, we're going to call that CDEF and ADEF. These are the four groups that will play today.
Yeah, so they also know that, it's just change of one group which is going to be happening. So if they are fans of the teams which are placed in D, E and F, they're going to have the double the mark of 2 games continuously back to back, and hoping to see those teams perform much, much better. But yes, the new group coming in, I do believe that it's going to be a very, very different outcome altogether.
I am really intrigued to see it because, again, as you mentioned, Team Vikings, FS, these are the teams that like to be on that aggressive end of the spectrum. So we can expect a lot of aggressiveness from their side, specifically in the power play. You can get double the points for every single elimination. Imagine if one of these teams pull up the WSB move right on the other side. You may never know what kind of bonkers numbers we're going to see onto those points table. I think so. We might possibly see, specifically on one of the weekends, maybe a 50-point game as well from one of the teams.
Oh yes, and I can place my bets on WSB already because they've got a decent jump so far.
Yes, and since again we're talking about jumps, right, there are certain possibilities for all the people who are out there who use the Android devices. Google Play days are live right now, and grab the best BGMI offers, and you've got this opportunity only for the duration of the Master Series. So make sure you utilize it for the perfection. But I know, Aka, you're excited to jump into the game. But before that, we'll be heading into a very short break. And on the other side of the break, the game.
Wow. Circle to search. Only on Android.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Time to test the waters. Tell me how you wanna leave. Now you hear me roll like raw in my beastly mode. Now, wow.
Wicked Unleashed.
That's wicked. All the cuts and the curves. So wicked. Take what you deserve. It's wicked.
TVS Raider. Unleash your wicked. Red Bull gives you wings.
そんな場所だ。全部壊してみっか。俺は塔のてっぺんに登るんだ。
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. 2x brightening power. With charcoal and vitamin C, deeply cleanses dirt and pollution to fight dullness for instantly bright skin. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. By Garnier Men.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Philips One Blade. Move fearlessly. Innovation and you. Philips.
そんな場所だ。全部壊してみっか。俺は塔のてっぺんに登るんだ。
Red Bull gives you wings.
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash with charcoal and vitamin C. Deeply cleanses dirt and pollution for instantly bright skin. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash by Garnier Men.
What's up, everyone? Come on in.
I got 100 ways that I could make you look. You cannot read me, I ain't no page in a book. But there's 100 ways that I could make you look.
Wow.
Make you look. make you look.
Wow.
Look, make you look.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you to live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance.
Welcome back to the Android BGMS Master Series Season 3 powered by Ghania Men, and oh my god, Aka, hold your horses. Look at that amazing TVS Raider bike. Just feast your eyes with that beast of a machine, because this is the Iron Man edition, which doesn't look just cool but also gives you ultimate superhero vibe. Definitely super wicked out there.
I mean, I'm now convinced. Trust me, I'm convinced. After I'm done with the event, I'm gonna go buy one.
Woohoo! All right. We've got a buyer out right here already. Maybe you guys can check that out as well. But for now, we're gonna be checking out the members of Godlike Esports, right? Because again, this team is in a pretty precarious position at this point.
Oh yes, just 5 points in the 2 games they've played, and the kind of fan following they carry. I do understand it's sometimes a little bit of a pressure, but at the same time, if you want to look at the positive side of things, you can take those prayers into your game and make sure that you bring that positive manifestation. Make sure you get a chicken dinner, and from then on, conquer to move forward.
And since you're already talking about conquering, now Team X Spark as well is one of the teams which I really wanted to see on top of the charts as well, because of the way and the potential that they've got. But yeah, they've been struggling a little bit. I wouldn't call it a lot though, because yeah, they've had a pretty decent amount of points, but I wouldn't say that they're in a comfortable position as of now, unlike 8-bit of course.
8-bit themselves. I would say that, you know, the IGL himself is the right person to, you know, make the statement that I'm going to lead by example and not by force, because he's going to be that person picking up frags, showing his team that way of how to be a little bit aggressive and making sure that, you know, at the same time don't lose yourself. But again, we'll have to speak about the big whale. It has to be Carnival Gaming. What a comeback they had yesterday.
That second map of Miramar, that was the place where we saw the rising of that fun carnival we always wanted to see. And on the other side of the spectrum as well, there's another team which definitely impressed me, was of course the side of Orangutan, but one team that has got a lot of experience on board, and that is just waiting to show their power, is going to be Team Tamilas.
Oh yes, Team Tamilas, their aggression, and joining them has to be FS Esports. This is going to be the 2 new teams who will be playing now. And FS Esports, you know, they have a lot of expectation as well. The way they perform in the recent officials and also backing themselves up in the third parties they've played. Well known for their aggression and the right teams for a good start for the day.
100% agreed. But you know what, Aka, I know you've been waiting a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump into the jungles of Erangel out there. It's not just jungles, it's also some of the savannah, but it's the favorite map of every single person out. We'll be seeing all these teams jumping in as we'll be watching the plane part 2 coming up way too quickly. But in the meantime, look at all those excited faces, because I am super intrigued, super electrified, just like how you are.
Oh, thank you so much. I was just waiting to, you know, come in and break down how the flight path has been so far. It's completely the eastern side of the map, flying right over Yasnaya, ending towards the Milta Power. The northern eastern side of the map is where the flight path is. So that means those teams trying to go towards the military base will have to contest a little bit towards that MOGO region or on the spawn places so that they have a vehicle for themselves. But the northern western side of the map, look at that. There's going to be 2 teams in close proximity at Zarki.
I really want to see if in case we're going to see any kind of contest happening out there or not, right? Because if MOGO was here, I would have already said that, you know what, this team, I would still say, might want to drop over towards the other part, maybe going in for their secondary drop locations. But look at over towards Milta and Milta Power. That's a humongous cluster that potentially could form out there. But one thing is for sure, Godlike definitely going in over towards Lipovka to try and find some easy loot for them.
Team Forever. I wonder what they're trying to do. Look at the northern eastern side of the map towards Zarki.
True.
I know that, you know, that's not a place for you to get a decent amount of look. But hey, from the distance, I'm able to hear some fire. I do believe that, you know, there are two teams trying to fight out. And who else apart from the champions themselves? It's going to be Team Xbox trying to do the best of what they do, the shenanigans. They've already put a player down, probably will be looking forward for the confirmation, but yes, it's going to be one solo man trying to guard himself. Hush, he's going to be falling down on his knees in front of these champions, and he's going to give away the second power play point.
That is absolutely true. These teams always going in for these early aggressive plays, and you really need that if you're Team Xbox, because you're not on top of that spectrum. But look at VASISTA Esports Shadow. They're actually taking on the Carnival Gaming members as well as Goblin himself falling down. That's one of the massive fire-powering fraggers for the team, and if that is the person who's been taken down, that's going to be extremely difficult for Carnival Gaming to try and bring themselves back up.
Oh, let's see whether that's going to be the case, because they come with a punch, they come with power, and Carnival Gaming might look forward to something better. But look at this, the aggressors of yesterday are going to just continue as they put down one of the players of Team Tamilas. Fox falls down on his knees, and all he's going to hear is the sound of his skull getting crushed off, and 8-Bit are going to get the early 2 points in the beginning.
Absolutely true. This team has decided, and even in the interview yesterday, they mentioned the exact same thing. They don't care about what the situation is. They always play aggressive. But one other team that I really want to see change some gears are going to be Team Tamilas as well, right? Because you've been mentioning so many times about the possibilities that this team can upset the entire leaderboard, for which I'm pretty intrigued as well.
Hey, they didn't have the right kind of start, but that doesn't mean they can't end well. Because yesterday, VASISTA Esports showed us that early on, after losing their IGL, they were able to cope up to the pressure and somehow come #2 with a decent amount of finishes. So I'm expecting the same from the side of Team Tamilas. They have lost Fox, one of their strong firepower players, but still, you have Mr. IGL alive. You have Manti and Maxi, the deadly duo which we keep speaking about. Them sticking together, it's like having a complete squad behind you.
Agreed. And another team that actually lost an early IGL but still is doing such a good job in the entire leaderboard itself is definitely REVENANT as well. I remember in the map of Erangel, we mentioned the same thing when I was here with Necro, that losing senses so early on. Now, there are two spectrums of looking at the exact same picture, right? That, yeah, you lost a member, but at the same time, if it's the IGL, they kind of like it.
Hey. Every single time I've seen Sensei play in every team, there's always been one ritual which takes place. In case he gets taken down first and finished off first, then his team is bound to get a minimum of 10 points. So in case he's going down, I'm not going to feel that sad, because he can lead much better having the perspective of the other three in his fingers.
That's the fun part of being the IGL, because now there's no more pressure onto you that, oh my god, I've got to get the good positioning and the frags as well. My teammate can do that for me, and I'm just going to guide them like a perfect teacher. That's what his name says. But in the meantime, another team that really want to stand up to their name but are struggling a bit right now in this early opening is Carnival Gaming. But wait a second, it's Power.
He's just going to be silent, doesn't he? And there the Viper strikes, and, you know, it's going to be taken down. In the blink of an eye, there's going to be another 2-pointer going in the favor of Carnival Gaming. FS Esports, the least expected somebody to be present over here, and this is not the kind of start they would require in this tournament.
Clutch being taken down, that's a big thing as well for this team. Losing those early few members. I was expecting a little more aggressive Erangel in the power play, but it seems like teams have decided that they really want to just take a slower route because of how VASISTA is still in that top 5, showcasing that they can still finish top 2 in a couple of games. I think so most of these teams are kind of taking the page out of their book and are deciding, you know what, let's go slow, let's play decent. We don't really need to go in for those early aggressive fights. We can play on our own pace.
I feel it's just the calm before the storm. The first circle is yet to complete, right? There's still a lot of time for them to farm first, get the right kind of ammunition, get the right kind of gun, and then probably strategize to go drop off somewhere where they can put them down. Look at what CTs are going to do. Immediately after picking up a frag, they're just going to stick together in one single vehicle, try to cut off someone else's rotation, probably this time around. They might find the big dog themselves, that is 8-bit, or not far away from them.
It seems that both these teams have kind of got the similar idea to move around Gatka, because all of those vehicles are moving towards that exact same position, right? Both the lines that are never parallel converging onto that one point. It's going to be the eye of the storm, or it's going to be the entire circle around the storm itself. That's going to be a big question, but I also want to look forward to all the other teams that are playing all the way outside of the circle right now, like Global Esports, Team Z as well. Also over down towards Primorsk, we also have Team Tamilas, because they'll also have to get their rotation in, and it clearly shows they don't want to take early fights.
I mean, I'm feeling sad for military base right now, because it's been completely abandoned. Nobody's going to go there, but it's going to be one good place for you to get a rotation. It's very much inside the first circle. Nobody is going to be thinking of having a bridge camp, so if you're looking for a longer rotation, then military base is going to be one of those places that you would want to travel around.
I kind of agree. But it's all these teams now just taking the fun time, the sweet time. Oasis as well, sitting out, waiting, watching the games. Because again, since we are talking about Team Forever, a team that is yet to open up their points department, still looking for that first pointer. Along with Gujarat Tigers as well, Vikings, FS, Tamilas. It's their first game either way, is along with one blade. But GT and TF, yeah, they really need to step things up a bit. They need to change those gears.
But GT, you know, I guess they could have expected somebody to come closer to them, or probably they could have expected those early collision to take place. Seems like they're still unprepared for what's going to come up next. So probably they're like, you know what, we still have some more games in hand. It's okay if we lose a player or two. We're strong enough as two men standing. We are the Tigers after all. Probably we can pull down a chunk of squads before getting taken down.
Absolutely true. And talking about a squad that's been pulling out a lot of chunks left, right and center. Definitely the Revenant having a fun time in Milta. Normally they would have had a clash with potentially Godlike, if I'm not wrong, over towards the Milta, but Godlike deciding to jump over towards Lipovka, giving up on that space, getting some of the decent loots as well. I've been hearing from the players, they've been mentioning that they're getting quite a good loot recently.
Ah, yeah, and Lipovka is one of those places you would want to be with a circle like this, right? Because it's just going to stick for the longest time possible inside circles like this, with the flight path almost going over Lipovka itself. So I'm expecting the circle to happen somewhere towards that shelter or the prison region. Yes, there's going to be another fight which is going to take place, but guess what? It's going to be one name yet again written in those finish feeds. It's going to be 8-bit. They're going to be getting some more finishes, some more frags for themselves, making it a total of 4 finish points. And this is the first team who understand the value of the power play.
I mean, it just seems that 8-bit from last year in BGMS Season 2 and 8-bit right now, they're just two different human beings at this point, because they're turning super sane. But for now, Z-God out there trying to make sure that his teammate survives. Well, eventually he's scouting out that area as well, because Admino is just down on his knees. Jelly, Z-God, all of them out there. Sarang will be able to take care of Hitman too. We're seeing that in the finished feed, but you really want your one man to be brought back up on his feet as well. Don't want to lose him early on, but wait a second. Beast out there up on top will be taken down. Absolutely not. Was able to take one man down as well, and Jelly, Admino, both of them fall on the other side of the spectrum. True. Right now it's going to be Team X-Spark trying to trace the nades. Trace God has been taken down. FS with another casualty. They already lost their first member early on. Now also another one on his knees. It's all down to Wizard to try and make sure that his team survives. It's got to do some voodoo right now.
I don't think so. It's going to be possible, man. Look at who's going to be third partying. It's going to be 8-bit coming into this action. They understand. They would have looked at that finish feed and made sure that they come in and attack at this point of time. Probably they'll be grabbing away one of those finishes. Trace God is going to be going down. But hey, what? guess what? It's going to be Team X-Pac. They're like, you know what? You guys have come in to our hunting and we're going to make sure we take a chunk of you as well. As two of the players of 8-Bet are down on their knee, Team X-Pac is looking for a 2-squad finish or probably 9 points in minimum from this position.
My goodness, 8-Bits jump in. Wizard will be taken down by Ninja George's nade finally, but kind of a bit more than what they could chew at this point, and another nade going in a bit too wide, so not going to do any kind of damage whatsoever. Another one bouncing off just towards the wall. The Molotov used it perfectly as well. Juicy will be juiced up, will be taken down. Low spray goes be taken down by Mighty, but that's going to be the shotgun spray from Juicy himself. Will finally fall. The numbers disadvantage coming in favor, to be very honest, the numbers advantage for Team X-Pac. But 8-Bit, they've basically done their job. I mean, look at that. They've already gathered 10 finish points.
That's how you play the game. Try to get an average in one way or the other and then make sure that, you know, you're enjoying the game after that. 10 points, just the beginning phase. Power play is still in action, but my eyes are on Team X-Pac. Look at that, 14 points, where yesterday was not such a great day for them.
They've been doing a phenomenal job at this part. It's just the fact that, again, 8-Bit a bit disoriented there because Mac went in a bit too ahead. But I'm going to give kudos to the nade that came in from Sarang, right? It bounced off the vehicle and then went towards Mighty and took Mighty down right away. That was a player lost already there. Aditya as well, he tried to jump in but was taken down. There was just a nade party coming in. They wanted some fireworks, man, and they definitely gave the taste to both FS as well as 8-Bit.
Hopefully we'll be able to see them perform much more better. Yesterday, Team X-Pac especially, you know, they had just 11 points in 2 games, and here they already have 14 finish points in a single game. That shows that they've also chosen violence and made sure that, you know, they're going to just pick up frags after frags no matter how much position points they get.
Bringing out their M4s and being like, peace was never an option, my man. That's what they went in forward. Look at the big cluster that's forming all around in the center. And you mentioned about the circle forming in over towards Shelter and Mansion, and that's exactly where we're seeing the entire cluster fall, right? And it's quite a lot of open grounds as well, a bit of hilly areas left, right? So you would really need those compounds out if in case even the next few circles form onto the same area, because I don't think so we're going to see any kind of early hard shifts now.
Now this is going to be one of the most vulnerable spot in this map, or in this kind of a circle, because you have to guard all 4 sides and you can expect teams to clash it at all 4 sides, or otherwise you can be strong enough with a spray like that, and Skips is going to be putting GE Slug down on his knees, and probably they're going to push everything they have to get that confirmation.
That AUG working out perfectly for this team. I've always loved this weapon more than M4, I don't know why.
Oh, it's because of the stability, obviously.
Exactly.
Hey man, you're not alone.
Us moment.
Us, yeah.
But alright, they still managed to blow up the vehicle, but Slug still is surviving for some reason. Maybe just a few extra bullets going astray. Beast is out there trying to help his teammate out, but his position is noted already, so he's got a few smokes to work around with. And that's the thing, right? You also have Arklin and Ninja Boy. They'll also be jumping in to try and bring their man back up on his feet. And now under the leadership of Ninja Boy, Global Esports, I mean, the aggression has not gone anywhere from this team.
Yes, young blood making sure that, you know, they stick to their strongest aspect of their game, that is going to be aggression. And look at that, they never let go of their comrade. They make sure that, you know, no matter how hard the situation is, they have all 4 men standing. And the value of having all 4 men in the final circles, we have been seeing, has a greater advantage of getting that chicken dinner. Yes, Slug is going to be back on his feet, and this time around, revenge is going to be written all over his gun.
Really would want to see how VASISTA are also going to play in this situation, right? Because it's going to be a perfect slam coming in from Team Z, and they really want blood out there. Going to be drawing in the first one, but no, it's Dux who actually falls down on his knees. Arigato as well, up in a very different compound, but that's going to be another trade coming in. Apollo will not stand whatsoever. Fights being taken left, right, and center. It's so scrappy, so messy, but still VASISTA somehow trying to survive with just only a couple of players remaining, Wixkey and Secret. They've got Shadow down on his knees as well, but revival should technically come. But OG is the team that really want to join in for the third party.
I don't think so. It's going to be easy for VASISTA from here on with almost damaged up. And there it is, Visgod. He's going to be visible to Vixky, who needs to be careful of his position. He needs to get inside cover. And it's going to be a little bit of a delay due to which Aru is going to punish him to put him down. Visgod traded off. A perfect fight we're able to witness over here. Secret and Shadow were lurking behind those hard compounds. Can do a lot of damage. There it is, AKOP down on his knees. And Secret is not going to do much, but press that trigger for the longest time possible. 5 finishes already in the name of VASISTA Esports. I do believe they're going to wait out for the other two to fight it out and then slowly come in to pick their final finish.
Aru will be able to take Arigato down finally, but man, oh man, it took everything from the apes to try and take those people down. But wait a second, the action is not yet over because X-Pac wants to join in some fun as well as they try to take down the members of VASISTA. Should be able to take them out as well. Spray God down on his knees, but are they going to try and clear all of them off because the nade?
That's not how you hide on open plain sight. Shadow, he was clever enough to check that vehicle and immediately get another finish in his name. But you know what? VASISTA Esports with just 6 points going in their favor. It's just going to say goodbye from the lobby. Team X-Pac knew exactly when to strike at this position. They've got 17 points already and aggression seems to be going in their favor.
Yeah, now Aru should technically be taken down as well because guess what? There's another team who wants to join into the action. This area has just become a cemetery for all of these teams because everyone wants to join in the fight. The new Pochinki, maybe, as Revenant wants to join in. Aru trying to take one down, will finally get the confirmation as well, but maybe not for long. Spoiling the game a bit for Revenant, but not a lot because again, look at the big rotation of Sensei that's coming in. He will be isolated with a 1v1 with Ninja Jod as well, but Shadow's positioning is going to be crucial.
Oh, Ninja, he has to be careful. He does the initial damage, and now that's the opening team X-Pac we're looking out for. Sarang comes in from behind as a perfect backup, and that's not going to be the end of it. There's another player who's going to be taking a longer rotation. Revenant are looking pretty weak at this point of time, and probably the final nail in the coffin is going to be put down anytime soon because they're going to be cornered inside a building, and the wolves are converging from all different directions.
Team X-Pac showing why they are the champions. They move fearlessly, just like the Philips one blade. Get one for you as well if you want to move fearlessly with those trims, shaves, or just a bit of styling. Because X-Pac with those frags are definitely getting a good amount of style points at this point, and Seth as well as Blaze, both of these people remaining, will now try to find a way to try and run out of this fight because you really cannot take it, specifically when X-Pac have got such prime positionings.
X-Pac, look at that control. They understood that now this is not the fight I need to prolong because I might get backstabbed. And they're just going to allow Spray God to do that mid-range backup or mid-range fights as he's best with it. Sarang is just going to make sure that he's going to lead the fight. The IGL reading up from front, and on the other side is going to be one blade who's going to be trying to do their best. KSR has already got one person down on his knees. Revenant trying to evade that fight will be falling in hands of one blade, and probably this could be the beginning of the end for Revenant themselves.
It seems to be that case. Just one member remaining. He was remaining. Seth was also taken down, if I'm not wrong, by Dark Lord. So Revenant's going to be finally putting their knees down. Can't really stand in such an expensive fight. Wanted to try and go in for the third party, did not realize that they were getting fourth party themselves. This is the whole point, you know, when the zone falls in such a situation, you know, there are only a few compounds, and that was not the best one either ways, but the team that found the last love was definitely Team X-Pac.
You know what? We were expecting a 30-pointer from any of these teams, right? And it seems like Team X-Pac is in the right, you know, way or the right path.
19.
Look at that, 19 points already in the name of finishes. And if they get a chicken dinner, that means they're going to cross the 30-pointer. And I'm hoping to see somebody hit that big number. Team Tamilas, Maxi needs to be careful. That's the dunes of death, which they call it. And hopefully they'll be able to hide away from the strong crosshairs of Ninja Jot.
Really want to see how that's going to pan out as well. But there's also one blade out there in the opening of one of those caves, right? You really don't want to be in that situation. You're kind of open from a couple of directions too. There could be a big rotation coming in because I can see a couple of members from Carnival Gaming as well are close to them and might as well want to try and get a backstab. I think that the best compound right now, or the best situation currently, is definitely going to be for the side of X-Pac. They found the perfect timing to get those compounds, and then they're holding it that too very well, covering all of their forts.
I mean, they came at the right time, right? They made sure that, you know, the third party, the fight between Revenant as well as VASISTA Esports, they put down the big dogs, took that compound for themselves, and they'll be hoping to pick up some finishes with that kind of a hard cover in their favor. But the only thing which might hinder their performance right now is the next circle. Is it still going to favor them, or just going to move away from there, where they'll have to come out of their covering and become a bit more vulnerable? Whereas Team Tamilas at this point of time, they've understood. They just need to hold on to their horses, and probably final circle is where they actually open up.
Yeah, they just want to play it slow. Just want to try and gather a few extra points as well. Maybe if they find some opportunity to gather up a few of the scrap picks from left, right, they'd be able to do it. But God's Reign, again, a team that are playing right now outside of the blue. As soon as it hits the circle, it's going to be a lot of damage to them. So they would want to find some entry, and where they're moving is a humongous cluster of very hard southeastern shift coming in for the circle as well. But Shelter is still inside of it. So I believe Xpac would have to make a move. But quite a lot of shots being fired for now on the members of Team Tamilas, who really want to just escape through all of that commotion and want to jump inside the circle first.
Now Team Xpac, they need to be careful, because what they're trying to do right now is to evade the enemies, but at the same time giving out their location. In case teams are able to gatekeep them inside a circle like that, probably they're just going to be walking finishes for the opponents. Whereas SG, I really like their positioning. Yes, Shelter is going to be one of those places you need to hold yourself. The caves, the 4 different caves. But I really love this position of Team Tamilas. If they're able to avoid the fight with Carnival Gaming, I think everything might fall in their favor.
Yeah, I think so. They should know that one person or one team might have occupied those compounds, right? And Carnival Gaming, they're known to be playing so silently, like the scorpions out in the field in the jungle, where you do not even know and you would step onto one. And that's when you know that the poison is just going to take you down, bit by bit. They also have the numbers, right? You could argue Goblin is not there, but his power carries out a humongous firepower with him.
And that is why he was recently added, right? He's got that credential of having one of the stronger fire powers. And hopefully we'll be able to see him perform better. You know, sometimes I've seen him fall prey for the textbook mistakes. And hopefully we'll be able to not see him do much in this tournament. Because Hector, you know, he's one of those person who likes to stick to the basics. Look at that. A longer rotation, avoiding all those fights, trying to hold the center of the third or the fourth circle. And from there on, it becomes so much easier for them.
The one team that I feel are going to face some problems are definitely going to be Team Xpac, right? Because I believe they're looking at the same compound, which is currently, I wouldn't exactly say the compound, but yeah, those shelter caves that are currently being held by one blade. And I think so one blade should technically have the geographical advantage as well, but Anani just waiting out, quiet down. Is the calm before the storm, Arka?
Oh yes, all these firepower team or power pack team, they're just going to make sure that they hold on to themselves, as we have already spoken before. But one blade, you know, this is also one of those spots I would really do not want to be in. Because my backlines are going to be visible to the hills. And, you know, it's going to be hard for you to take that uphill battle no matter what moment or what day it is.
True. Team Forever all the way over towards the eastern parts, occupying all of those compounds. Gujarat Tigers as well. Over towards the northeastern part. As soon as the circle hits, we're going to see the carousel of bloodbath out there. Because it's almost all the open fields with just a few hills or maybe just a few trenches that can technically help you out for a while. I want to see how many utilities does Xpac have at this point, because they've been taking a lot of those fights and they are using a lot of grenades, just like they're playing basketball and shooting all those 3-pointers.
Sprayguard, it's good to see that he's going to be the person to lead it. He's going to be the person to go scout for the team, because he knows to escape at any given point of time. But yes, that's not going to be the case, as at a distance we're able to see that, you know, they were able to retaliate against the solo man, putting an end for another squad altogether. And that means now there's an opening on the northern eastern side of the map, where Team TF will have to be fast enough to take the only compound inside the circle. And this is going to be a fight which was inevitable.
Absolutely. They have the openings as well, as they finally find an opening on KSR7 as to the can answer back. Absolutely will. Amazing spray transfer coming in, but Kana Only good for one, as Sarang was able to take him down. Shadow just going in, jumping in for the confirmations as well. This is the big problem for holding all of these areas. Oh my god. Is it deliberately not finishing him up?
Nah, nothing like that. He's just going to make sure that, he play around for the longest time possible. And this is what I was speaking about, right? The backlines have that hills, which becomes much more hard for them. But
True.
yes, Team X-Pac, they're just going to wait for their prey to fall completely. They're just going to play around with them for the longest time possible. These Wildcats, they really know to hurt people where it hurts.
But that's just not one thing, and there's this big point now. OneBlade, they don't have any escape route, they don't have any exits from this situation, and they're not even inside the circle. Team X-Pac can perfectly gatekeep them, but talking about gatekeeping, I thought maybe Carnival would be able to do that against Vikings, but Vikings are going in for such a humongous rotations, right? These Norwegian giants are the ones who know when to go inside the circle and from where to go, but right now they kind of can get sandwiched between Team Tamilas as well as Team Forever.
Now let's see whether that's going to be the case. Right? Vikings, it's one side of the story, whereas on the other side, it's going to be GT trying to come from the back lines and trying to punish the side of Team X-Pac. And least did they understand that the other side, it's the champion team who know to retaliate to perfection. Dark Lord down on his knees. The divided attention could be something they need to look out for. Anonymous will be caught in the fire. The zone is going to start eating them up. They need to not only heal themselves, but it's a two-way battle which they need to be careful. It's going to be Sarang who's going to be tossing that grenade and getting in the knock as well.
And he's in such a prime position to gatekeep. Will be able to spray down KSR7. That's such a crazy play, crazy pick coming in. But on the other side as well, Vikings wanted to find an opening in his power, trying to do the exact same thing. Will be brought down on his knees. Losing out the chakra bit by bit, but maybe not Neo. As he sees the head, answers back, gets another man down. IGL finally brought down onto his knees, but Spray God seems like if the spray does not work, his frag grenades definitely do, because they are able to take care of GT as well. Skip falling down, but for now his power. My god, Hector was not able to do anything, but look at the answer from Neo. Deletes Team Tamilas and finally make sure that his team survives.
Oh, he's going to be the last ray of hope. He's the last man standing. God's Reign also have one man standing. Team Forever have all 4 men. When we were doubting the capabilities of Ash, it seems like this time around he has understood it's important for him to stay a little silent throughout the game. And all he has to do now is make sure that everything is a bit technical when it comes to bringing down the opponents. They have the man advantage of all 4 men standing. Now they'll have to look out on each and every corner of this hill. Yes. They've got the high grounds, they've got the biggest advantage, they're spread around as well. All they have to do is proper gatekeeping.
Spray God's positioning should get figured out now, so that's the big thing, right? The Team Forever are also holding down that close part where the blue is going to be slow. I don't think so Neo can survive for any longer than he already has. Maybe we can just go and try go with a mid strat, or maybe try and find that isolated player of God's Reign Alto. Who's oh my, never mind, bro. Never mind. I'm not even talking about that. He's got 29 first days. Playing for the mid strat was always the idea for this team as soon as they lost a couple of members.
You know what? If he's able to look out behind that hill, he might get another 5 more in the name of OneBlade. and I hope that he'll be able to pull this team into the top 2. There's a great advantage over here. Carnival Gaming, they're going to be losing 1, but guess what? It's another feather added to the crown of Team X-Pac, who have done a crazy job so far. All they have to do is grab the chicken dinner by their throat. You know, they have a great chance, if you ask me. A 2v4 for a champion team like that, I don't think so that's going to be hard.
Yeah, I think so they can pull that off, but the only thing that is not in their favor is definitely going to be this circle. That's the big part, right? And they're a bit on the far end as well, so it's going to be moving very fast from that angle. But they've got quite a few trees out there. Smokes, a bit of them remaining, not a lot. Can still try and work around that. I think the Team Forever are just playing a bit too passive in this situation.
I mean, they're doing it perfectly, if you ask me. They're holding that high ground. They have a dip from which they can gain access or information of the opponents. Hey, by the end of the day, knowledge is power in this game. And I hope that there's enough knowledge of the opponents by the side of Team Forever.
I think some Mafia is providing some good intel as well on that flank angle. Should technically take the first contact against Spray God.
Or it could be vice versa, as my friend.
Yeah,
because Spray God, If he puts Mafia down, there's going to be a little bit of pressure, and Omega is going to step out of his cover. And look at what SprayGod is doing. He's taunting his opponents. He's poking their interest. He's making sure that, you know, they throw some grenades or probably, you know, rush towards him, and it becomes easier for Sarang from the other side to backstab.
Exactly, that's what I also wanted to point out. He's just trying to grab the attention of the other side so that Sarang can find some opening. Is that three-pointer going to land? Absolutely not. Way too far, way too wide, probably going towards the outside. But SprayGod out there. DPS in the hand, just holding it down, slowing it down. The circle is going to determine which team will technically have the advantage. Team Xpark, I'm not counting them out from this situation. That win percentage growing by just 4, but still growing. God's Reign are definitely coming second in this one. He should have 10 more first aids remaining, and by the time this fight breaks out, he should be able to do enough. Molly still in the hands of SprayGod. Can definitely use it to try and flush out the player from a certain position.
The grenade by Sarang. It's going to be very crucial. It's already done the damage as well. I love the way they've made it inside the circle. Xpark. These slithering snakes know exactly how to push forward. Now Sarang is just going to fall back. Make sure he's going to boost himself completely as the man, the legend himself, SprayGod, is going to be very careful in what's going to do next. Ash on the other side, he's got a different strategy altogether, and I love it as well. He's going to be the distraction with the vehicle, but the rest of his team... Oh, watch out for the rest set of grenades which is going to be coming in.
They've got a decent amount remaining as well. Sarang should be taken down by this one, and that's a perfect from Ninju coming in. It's down to a 1v4 situation now. Tries to spray in blindly as they've created a smoke wall. Perfect play yet again from Team Forever. I thought that was a bit too passive, but it was absolutely fine. It worked out really well for them.
SprayGod still undetected. The circle. They need to be careful here. SprayGod dodges it to perfection. He turns around, connects one, connects the second one as well. He's done wonders so far, but eventually he's got to be laid, buried down in the ground. He's done a great job for his team. The whole team itself has done a great job. But Team Forever, a perfect start for them. 6 finishes and a chicken dinner. They couldn't have asked for a perfect start of the day.
Indeed. That chicken dinner going to give them important points, and those 6 finishes as well, which you mentioned. Not taking the early fights whatsoever. Playing it slow, but playing it to perfection. It's going to be their name. It's only God's Reign remaining. All two out there. Trying to go for that heal yet again. I mean, come on, get figured out by this point. Oh my god. But again, I still want to talk more about the fact how Xpark got 19 finishes in that game.
Just imagine if 60% of it has already come in from the power play, how many points will they have in total? I'm hoping to see somebody replicate the same as well.
I mean, finally, we're going to be having the match ended. It's Forever for now, replicating what Carnival did yesterday on the map of Miramar. This time, them doing on the map of Erangel. Big winner, chicken dinner coming in for the boys in the leadership of Ash. We thought, we questioned, but this team answered perfectly. A big win for them and a big sigh of relief as well.
I mean, there were a lot of expectation, right? There were a lot of doubts because OAS had stepped down as an IGL and Hash had to fill that shoe. And with this game, he has proved that he's capable of doing so perfectly.
But honestly, man, every single person's eyes are going to be on this team in front of your screen. 19 finishes is just bonkers. I had to calculate it individually, but you know what? I know everyone wants to see the interview, so let's throw it back to Surain.
All right, पहला मैच खत्म and Team Forever. Okay, Ash, सबसे पहले 1 करोड़ से ऐसा चुके थे पिछले सीजन.
करोड़ पीछा ही नहीं छोड़ रहा यार 1 करोड़.
Okay, पहले मैच में ही आप लोगों को जीत मिली है. 16 पॉइंट्स निकाले हैं. फर्स्ट कॉन्वर्सेशन जब 4 टीमें बची थी, टॉप 4, उस वक्त पूरा सर्कल जो है आपके कंट्रोल में था. क्या वहीं समझ आ गया था दिस इज अ डन डील?
नहीं, मतलब स्टिल मेक श्योर करना था अनलेस कि मतलब जब तक एंड तक ख़त्म ना हो जाए, चिकन डिनर निकालना आ जाए, क्योंकि हमारा भी थोड़ा सिचुएशन, क्योंकि फर्स्ट में 0 पॉइंट थे एंड इसमें अपने को डिलीवर करना था.
नाउ कल जब आप लोग वापस गए अपने अपने होटल रूम्स में, कल का परफॉर्मेंस जो है वो उतना अच्छा नहीं था. सो वो कॉन्वर्सेशन क्या थी कि आज हमें कैसे परफॉर्म करना है, क्या स्ट्रैटेजी के साथ उतरेंगे?
कल बेसिकली हमारा गन फाइट हुआ था जिसमें हमें गन नहीं मिला था, तो वो अनलकी रह गया था. मतलब उसका तो हम प्रैक्टिस किए थे, बट गन नहीं मिलेगा तो क्या कर सकते हैं. तो अपने को वही मेक श्योर करना था जो हमने 1 मंथ 2 मंथ्स प्रैक्टिस किया है, वो अपने को पूरा गेम खेल के, लेट गेम खेल के दिखानी है।
नाउ मिरामार, नेक्स्ट अप, अब उसमें वही गेम खेल पाओगे जो इस पहले मैच में दिखाया आपने?
यस, मैक्सिमम पॉइंट्स, दैट्स इट।
राइट मैन, मैक्सिमम पॉइंट्स। पहला विनर चिकन डिनर जाता है टीम फॉर एवर को। लिटिल ब्रेक एंड देन दूसरे मैच की तैयारी जोरों शोरों से।
What's up, everyone? Come on in.
I got 100 ways that I could make you look. You cannot read me, I ain't no page in a book. But there's 100 ways that I could make you look.
Wow.
Make you look. Make you look.
Wow.
Look, make you look.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Another day, another road, and we go. A ride with a win, moving up, we know where to begin. Wicked on the wheels, get wicked on the wheels. On a ride we go. Wicked on the wheels, get wicked on the wheels. Another day, another road, and we go.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. 2x brightening power. With charcoal and vitamin C, deeply cleanses dirt and pollution to fight dullness for instantly bright skin. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. By Garnier Men.
Shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it.
What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Philips One Blade. Move fearlessly. Innovation and you. Philips.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
Red Bull gives you wings.
そんな場所だ。全部壊してみっか。俺は塔のてっぺんに登るんだ。
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash with charcoal and vitamin C. Deeply cleanses dirt and pollution for instantly bright skin. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash by Garnier Men.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive.
fiery performance by X-Park, but a much-needed chicken dinner for Team Forever. That was the storyline of game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. You all are watching Android BGMS Master Series Season 3, powered by Carnival Gaming. I'm your host and caster skated alongside me, the man who's very cheeky out here, Arka. Arka, before we move forward, I want to ask you, what's your favorite anime?
Lately it has to be Demon Slayer.
Ah, I see. I like that as well. You know, I've got a platform for you where you can watch that also in your preferred language. That's going to be Crunchyroll, ladies and gentlemen. You can watch your favorite animes, and it's an anime library with more than 800 animes. But a man who was playing with 800 IQ right now was definitely Sarang from X-Park.
Or if he had not got taken down because of that grenade at the final moment, probably he would have been the person to pick up some more finishes in his name. He's got 7 finishes already with a finish contribution just 50%. That shows that they've got a total of 14 together as a team.
Absolutely, and this team was just going all out because that's what Sarang's title is, with the best companion. It's also going to go back to him as well. You know what? I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to pick them off. I'm going to also make sure I pick my teammates up as well to bring them back on his feet. But the finisher is going to go to Omega from Team Forever. 3 finishes in total.
Oh yes, you know, Sarang, with all that, is also doing the idling, and he's like, you know what, I'll do the rest of the stuff. You guys, all you have to do is one thing, point and shoot.
Fine. I'll do it all myself. How'd that sound?
You know, they look like Avengers to me, you know.
True, and they kind of played in the exact same way, and that's exactly what we'll look at the highlights as well, ladies and gentlemen, because it was Team X-Park all around the board.
Oh yes, they were third partying in every look and corner of the map. Initially, they had to, you know, go in with a little bit of trade, but they recovered very, very well. And then after that, you know, the way they took down 8-bit as well,
True.
It was marvelous because there were 2 teams fighting. It would have gone in either way, but still they did well. But this was one of the moments which caught my eye because Shadow was trying to hide in the car, and the other Shadow is like, you know what? We live under the same light.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna do because I mean, same name. But yeah, you know, I think so. The name should be enough, right? 8-bit was the one who was wrecking the entire lobby, even today.
Oh yes.
And the only team to stop them was Team X-Park. So who's gonna continue the legacy? Obviously going to be X-Park, right?
Oh,
but
yes.
a team that definitely needed a good opportunity, and then opening was definitely Team Forever. And they had a perfect positioning too. This was also a very crucial fight for both Team Tamilas as well as Carnival Gaming, because both had almost the similar play style to play it a bit more slow and ended up almost at the exact same place.
Yeah, and these were the final moments of the game. You know, the final man, he did appear out in the open, and slowly it was easy for them to pick that final finish. But again, you know, it was a great start if you ask me in the map of Erangel. There were several teams who continued their regression. As you correctly pointed out, 8-bit was one of those teams. Those early 10 points is going to be enough for them to retain the top spot if you ask me.
I would agree with you 100% on that one, because those early points, they all gathered it in the power play itself, right? And that's the fun fact about it. Team Forever got 16 points. I really don't want to say it, but they got the chicken dinner to secure those points. WSB got that in the first zone.
I mean, they're 2 different play styles, right? Somebody would not want to do so much of hard work, but you know what? It's easy for the teams who are doing it.
And you know, one more thing that is very easy, and that's basically you paying. That you just have to tap and pay with the new Android devices. You might as well want to check it out as well.
Yes.
But some teams, they really do not like that easy path, right? And a few of them is definitely going to be one X-Park in my mind, and the other team is going to be Godlike, because X-Park going on the aggressive, they were the rampage people in this entire lobby, but Godlike were kept way too quiet.
I hope that, you know, Godlike realized that it's important for them to step up now, because it's only the few games which they have in their hand, and if they're able to put up around 10 to 15 points from here on in the given games, probably they'll have a chance to retain their spot in the top 18. But ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the schedule. CDEF have already finished. Now ADEF is going to be coming in with Group A coming in. I think it's going to be much more easier for the teams which are played DEF, because obviously, right, they've got experience.
You're talking about experience, and there was this group of death finally been taken away. It's again one of the crazy teams out there. You always talk about them, Carnival Gaming as well, Godlike, REVENANT. It just blows my mind. Orangutan, they will not have any more games right now, at least today. But yes, as you already mentioned, we still have ADEF remaining, Group A finally joining into that action as well. But one team that I was really looking forward to was definitely Vikings.
Oh, yes.
which were kept way too quiet again.
I think it's the same fate for all the top two teams who have qualified and come. Right? We had CarpeDiem who couldn't do much. Now we have Vikings who are following their steps. Probably VASISTA Esports is the only team who came in through the qualifications are having decent amount of points. They had 20 by the end of yesterday. Probably 6 finishes is what they raked up in this game. An average of 20-25 points. They are trying to playing it a little safe. Let's see how it goes.
Yes, absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be heading to a short break. We'll be right back after it.
Wow. Circle to search. Only on Android.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Time to test the waters. Tell me how you wanna leave. Now you hear me roll like raw in my beastly mode now. Wow.
Wicked Unleashed.
That's wicked. All the cuts and the curves. So wicked. Take what you deserve. It's wicked.
TVS Raider. Unleash your wicked. Red Bull gives you wings.
そんな場所だ。全部壊してみっか。俺は塔のてっぺんに登るんだ。
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. 2x brightening power. With charcoal and vitamin C, deeply cleanses dirt and pollution to fight dullness for instantly bright skin. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. By Garnier Men.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Philips One Blade. Move fearlessly. Innovation and you. Philips.
そんな場所だ。全部壊してみっか。俺は塔のてっぺんに登るんだ。
Red Bull gives you wings.
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash with charcoal and vitamin C. Deeply cleanses dirt and pollution for instantly bright skin. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash by Garnier Men.
What's up, everyone? Come on in.
I got 100 ways that I could make you look. You cannot read me, I ain't no page in a book. But there's 100 ways that I could make you look.
Wow.
Make you make you look.
Wow.
Look, make you look.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage. Like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage to live your life the way you want.
That beautiful trophy is the reason for all of this action. And honestly, you can't wait to see which one of them will lift it. But it's a long journey, it's a marathon, but at the same time, it's a fast sprint. But something that is also happening really fast are the Google Play Days, ladies and gentlemen, which are live right now. So grab the best BGMI offers.
Oh yes, the best of the teams yet again. I guess it's going to be ADEF we're going to be looking at right now.
Yes.
Oh, let's see whether this action is going to go much more stronger in the deserty islands of Miramar. Yes, VASISTA Esports. That's going to be the team we're going to be looking at. Apollo on the left and Vexkey on the right. And then we have the team to look out for. Global Esports in the map of Miramar have been very strong. And following the map, obviously, is going to be X-Spark.
The spark is turning into a wildfire, but we'll have to see if they can turn into a desert storm, because the storm is also right next to them. And few teams that I really want to look forward to are going to be Limra, WSB and Reckoning. To be honest, WSB has all my heart at this point with the way how they like to play the power play.
Hopefully we'll be able to see them replicate the same. But again, my expectations is going to fall for GDR or FS Esports, because they really need to step up in this game. Probably they are the strong contenders for the chicken dinner. They'll have to make sure that there are no drop clashes, or in case there is a drop clash with these two teams, they need to pick up those early 4 finishes.
You're talking about early finishes. I reckon we were seeing 8-bit as well on the screen, because you talk about early fights. This team is already in the vehicles with a basic amount of loot ready to steal your away, because they know they can win the fights. But another team that really need to win the fights, definitely going to be both Team Tamilas as well as Limra. Really want to see what kind of play both of these teams are going to bring forward on the table right now.
Oh, let's not forget the big whale in the room, right? WSB, you know, after such a explosive performance in the first day, now they've come back probably to replicate the same. I'm hoping to see a drop clash with them. Probably Team Z is what I would like to see, because X-Spark fans are waiting for him to, you know, pull off a 1v1 or 1v3 or probably 1v4, because no matter how many finishes he takes, his fans are happy to see him conquer the lobby.
Conquering the lobby is going to be the name of the game, and conquering the deserty map of Miramar is going to be the idea of all of these teams, because only one Pharaoh will stand out tall. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be moving to the second game and the last one of the evening. It is the map of Miramar in BGMS Master Series Season 3. Let's see which one of all of these players is going to conquer and stand alone on top, as the plane starts right away from the southern part of the map, going all the way towards Torre Ahumada, towards the north.
A perfect, you know, I would say diagonally split. I don't know how to call this flight path.
My math is bad. My math is bad.
I mean, I was good at geometry until and unless the spellings of each and every shape came into existence.
Math was good as long as there were no alphabets involved.
Completely agreed. But you know, coming back into the game, the flight path dissecting the map right to the epicenter over Graveyard, and that means all these teams can go to their respective drop locations, not having that initial fight.
Necro would have been super happy, to be honest, because he loves to see all those drop clashes all the way down in Los Leones. Always wants to see, he's super ready for those early actions. And honestly, given the fact that you've got the power plays advantage as well, I think so most of these teams would also want to take some early fights. But I want to see where Team Z would eventually land up, because last time they were all the way over towards the ruins. But this time around, I don't really feel like they can eventually go towards that part, right? So everyone just falling down to their places as well. Team Tamilas in Los Leones alongside with 8-bit. Also just a bit over towards northeastern part, we're going to see WSB. Somewhere between Los Leones, La Bendita and Impala.
Look at Porto. That is where Team Z is going to be trying to move their way. But look at the gunshots are starting to come in. It's going to be Team X-Spark yet again, punishing the side of the Tigers. They put one man down, and they're making sure that they might be or they will be looking forward to get that finish confirmed. But I don't think so it's going to be an easy one, because that's a lot of distance they'll have to cover.
Ninja Jord just firing a few shots of the SKS, a weaponry that we don't usually see a lot. Only during the times when you've got to take those early fights. But look at Shadow as well, and that humongous monster truck. Just moving out around in the entire map. I'm pretty surprised we're not seeing any kind of early clashes, but alright. Thank you so much. I know a lot of those people out there would not be able to see it, but the circle has formed in all the way towards the southwestern part of the map. It has basically left most of these teams outside of the circle, and I can feel already that we're going to see a lot of fights towards Chumasera.
It's good to see that few teams are trying to evade from fights, right? Because, you know, VASISTA Esports, they usually go to the Hasi and the Del Petron region, and then suddenly G appears out of nowhere, and they're gonna, guess what? We're just not gonna stick to this place. We're gonna get far away from here, probably do our farming properly, and then come back.
That is true. And the fun fact is, now since there is no MOGO into the lobby, that is one of the reasons why you're gonna see Impala pretty empty as well, and that's why WSB have also jumped there.
Oh yes, the western side of the map completely abandoned, nobody towards the El Pozo region. But before we speak further, we were able to see that Team X-Pac, back to their shenanigans, is trying to pick up some early finishes. But GT, it seems like they're prepared for them.
Pretty prepared if you ask me as well, because they've got a few of the weaponries in their own hands. Maybe not those helmets out there. Dark Cloud out there. I wouldn't really recommend him taking the fight, because just a couple of headshots and maybe you'd be taken down. But Skips also holding out his angle. Clutchcott does not even have his HP back to full, so... But that's the whole point, right? You know that there's someone from the side of X-Pac always on that high ground watching your exit, so you can't really risk running out in wild, in open.
I mean, it's the first circle. All these teams are inside the circle as well. So they're going to take the longest time possible. Sarang trying to do the impossible right now, if you ask me. To go in for that early fight. Yes, a level 1 helmet, a level 2 vest. He's got 2 ARs in his hand. And let's see whether he'll be able to do good.
And they were trying to pull in a pincer as well, because if you look at all the way down to the 6, that's also where Team Xbox members are. Dark Lord should be able to take one down, tries to go in, connects those jump shots, but not working out. The nade finally picked down Sarang to a bit of a lower HP, no heals whatsoever. And we are also seeing the entire team of GT now firing to take the fight, but oh my god! Ninja Jord answering back perfectly, but wait a second! Dark Lord is insane on that spray! Catches 2 and now his team's got the support.
2 early finishes for the side of GT. The confidence boost is going to be phenomenal, because they did not just take down any player, they took down the strongest team in the lobby. And that's going to be X-Pac down on their knee. For the first time, we'll be losing 2 early players, an early casualty, and GT are going to be welcoming them with open arms.
A much needed start for this team. Super crucial. Oh my goodness. Long range shots. Spray God. Obviously the man is going to stand up to his name, right? He's the Spray God after all.
I mean, he's my favorite player. Any day his mid-range shots are so beautiful.
True.
That, you know, he can give backup from any given corner in case he's able to find the opponents. And guess what? Shadow is going to take that risk yet again. He's going to be like, I'm going to take revenge. I'm going to make sure that I try to, you know, revive our IGL, even though he's going to bleed out. That gives an opportunity for Skips to come out in the open. He needs to watch out for that sprays coming in from the Spray God from a distance. He hides behind the compound. He's being careful so far, but I don't think so. It's going to be easy for Team X-Pac from here on.
That's going to be super difficult, as you mentioned. The numbers advantage not in their favor. Still, some shots being fired. Will finally take Shadow down on his knees. And the AKM's going to do the rest of it. Just catches the man out in the open. A bit questionable decision, I would still say, because most of the teams would just decide to, you know what, let's back off, let's not fight any longer. But I still would say I love the idea from X-Pac, because the opponents were low on those meds, low on those heals. So they kind of wanted to try and capitalize on it, while also leaving Spray God behind so that he can provide that cover fire. But I'm not a big fan of it. I know, you pointed it out, I'm not a big fan of it, Arka.
Is this risk worth taking? As all 4 of them are trying to travel in the same vehicle with a master on the other side, Spray God. I think if you had the right kind of guns, it would have been a different story. But guess what? It's going to be a different story altogether at a distance, as 8-Bit have come in to take down the side of VASISTA Esports. As Shadow goes down, they've got one finish in their name, and I wonder where the rest of his players are.
That's probably what all the VASISTA fans out there are wondering as well, because again, moving in alone, not the best one out there, but all right. It's 8-Bit. You can't keep this team out of action for long. They play for the aggression. They play for the finishes. They don't even care about those chicken dinners at this point. It's like, you know what? Let's get a few extra points early on. Let's get 5 or 6 eliminations already in the power play, and then we're done for. We can just enjoy our own snacks. We can drink some water, maybe have some popcorns and enjoy the action of all the slow-paced teams.
No, these are the final games for these two teams, VASISTA and 8-Bit. And I can understand that 8-Bit right now is thinking of ending things with a 50-pointer, whereas VASISTA Esports on the other side need to be careful. They needed a trade at this point of time, but Vexkey is going to be very low on HP. A perfect trade from Apollo can do a lot of difference over here, but Secret on the other side is prepared for it. He puts 2 men down. Probably the third one would have come in his favor if it was some other gun in their hand, but this is the opening Apollo has to look out for. Will he be able to come? Will he be able to capture? Or is he going to go back and save his teammate?
A big question, if you ask me. He can try and get a flank angle, but a lot of shots being fired onto Apollo. Still wants to drive in the vehicle. Might want to get some extra bit of style points out there, but the shotgun in the hand, up close and personal. And that's what you need from the man himself, Juicy. Juicing out his opponents, making sure that all of their bloods are not left in their body.
VASISTA Esports, a disappointing end for them, if you ask me. They've got 26 decent points. I agree that they might be in a safe cushion when it comes to the overall standing. But hey, man, you need to have some decent amount of points in every game, or else you might end up being in the bottom half of the table.
You really do not want to be anywhere below that 18, right? Specifically considering that there are quite a few teams out there in the lobby who have got a humongous fan following. Would not want to risk yourself in that situation, but I mean, Spray God, is he still being that cheeky little wolf out there who always is lurking in your shadows and is ready to hunt you down for picking on his pack?
Obviously. I mean, that is one of the players to watch out for. He can do wonders, and there it is. He starts things off, and it seems like, you know, he's on the prowl. He's got one man down. He's just going to make sure that he finishes him up before the first stage closes in, because it's 2 valuable points which Team X-Park will be raking up.
Wants to try and move forward as well, but again, look at Hurst up in that big compound. And also Dark Lord wants to try and bring his IGL up back on his feet yet again. Spray God, if he does everything perfectly, he can have an opportunity to try and convert it in not just 2 points, 4 points itself. And that's again 2 people standing up in front of him. The nade, phenomenal. Spray is coming in as well, but Spray God was able to take down Clutch God out there. Only a God can take the another God out, but this time Dark Lord out there from the depths of the base, wants to jump up. Picks up the Scar yet again, up close and personal, goes into the heels. Spray God needs to connect the shots, does not matter, perfect jiggles. And Dark Lord was able to take down the man, but not before they lost their own IGL.
That was textbook basics, right? You can't fire pre-fire on the left side of your screen. It becomes a little bit hard. But GT, they were able to do that perfectly. And I do believe from here on, Team X-Park and VASISTA Esports are just going to be satisfied with what they've gained so far in the 4 matches they've played. But again, it all comes down to the other teams who have now got a great opportunity to pick up frags, to pick up some points for themselves. It's going to be 8-Bit at a distance, is on the receiving end of things for the first time. There it is. Adi on the other side retaliates to perfection. But VK, are they ready for 8-Bit?
That's going to be a big question right now. Aditya finally taking down Vintage as he joins in the fight as well. Wants to try and take care of the rest of the members of 8-Bit. Mahi also down on his feet. Eren this time. Really need to be turning into a Titan right now if you want to take someone like 8-Bit off of this game. And WSB also in the outskirts. Do they want to jump into the action? It's going to be a big question.
Look at the other players of 8-Bit. They understood that this is not a fight for them to continue and eventually ran away from that position. You know, it's important for you to think like that. WSB going way too close to comfort right now. Vikings, if they'd been a bit more persistent, probably they would have got another finish in their name.
Maybe, but a big one. But at least they are starting things off on a good note, right? Getting those 3 important finishes as well after not getting a lot of points in the previous one, because all the points that they got were just the position points. And that was just 1. Sorry.
Let's see. There's a lot of action left right now in the map of Miramar. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, do not be selfish. Share it among your friends. Let them come and watch every action which is going to take place in the map of Miramar on the TV. It's happening right here.
All of these people, you know, all of these teams, that it just seems like they're just getting a few extra power-ups time after time. Seems like all of them are big anime fans out there.
Oh, yes.
And if you are as well, might as well want to check out Crunchyroll, which has got only 79 rupees per month of a subscription. If you ask me, that's such a great deal with the amount of animes that you can actually watch on that. It's the world's biggest anime library out there.
The circle, the stage 2 circle, and teams are still way out in the open. I'm able to see on the northern eastern side of the map, Campo Militar is still a home for the side of God's Reign. And I believe that they've chosen to come in late into the circle. They want the rest of these, you know, gladiators to find with one another. And finally, they're going to come and contest the weakest of them all. And probably grab the chicken dinner. Whereas Team Tamilas on the other side, I mean, they're well prepared if you ask me.
Good amount of utilities in their hands as well. Good warehouse to work around with. But wait a second, Mac wants to try and fire a few shots as well. Now, he's got a couple of weapons, tries to run away, will be taken down from behind. Mahi shutting him out, punishing him for firing a few bullets onto his teammates. 8-bit finally will be taken down, will be stopped. Previous 2 games, you could argue they were taken down early, but does not matter. They managed to get 18 points out of that, and all of them in the power play. So they'd be pretty happy about it. They've already qualified, and I guess with these 8 points, they've crossed the 50-point mark.
Oh, yes. The first team to acquire 50-pointer in the 4 games they've played has to be the side of Team 8-bit. Team X-Park could have, you know, probably outnumbered them when it comes to the point standing, but they've fallen short and short by more than 8 points. So there's no question about that, but we'll have to see which team has that capability of pulling off what Team X-Park did in the previous game of Erangel, a 30-plus pointer in a single game. And this time around, it feels that GT have got that perfect start. They need to be a bit more composed in the fight they're going to take from here on.
Absolutely. But since we're already talking about being cool, calm and composed, right, at the same time, WSB, another team that we normally see get active whenever it comes to those 4th circles times, as well also be looking forward, because again, it's gonna get very claustrophobic if you are going to enter from the southeastern part or anywhere from the south, from the side of Minas Del Valle.
Oh yes,
it's gonna be again so many teams out there, and also some of them just playing off center.
Team Tamilas need to be careful. There's Fox running out in the open yet again, doing the same mistake. He's got to be down on his knees, and that's going to be pressure yet again mounting on the shoulders of Team Tamilas. WSB, once they know they've stuck a player down, they're not going to hold their horses. They're eventually going to rush in, and they might want to, you know, get a finish in their name. And Team Tamilas, they've chosen the wise thing to do. They're going to just fall away from this fight, make sure that Fox might get finished off, but they'll survive to gatekeep the side of WSB inside the circle.
They can find an opportunity as well, but again, there's Vikings just a bit north of them. There's also Team Forever who will be trying to gatekeep all the other people out there. So you either have to take in a long rotation all the way from down south from Valle del Mar, or maybe just move in a bit more towards the north and try and enter from Picardo. But that's again, we know about that. The teams do not.
Team Tamilas, they're going to be disappointed yet again losing Fox earlier in the game. But as I said, the Mandy and Maxi combination. Hey, I just realized one thing. Team Tamilas' success rate in Miramar is more than 90%.
Ah.
They're already, you know, they've just got 5 points, I agree. but I believe that, you know, they have a greater advantage. They know this terrain and topography so well that they might get a chicken dinner for themselves. But right now, it's going to be Global Esports who are trying to put a player down.
And that too was Viper from Reckoning. The wolves out there not yet howling, ready to hunt. The giants who always like to fight. That's again the strength of Global Esports, right? The team filled with filthy beasts out there. I just wanted that wordplay because it's Beast, Slug, Ninja Boy. All of these three people, they're so quick on that trigger that it becomes difficult for you to deal with them. It was difficult to deal with Ninja Boy. Now you've added Beast and Slug in the lineup as well. So this team has so many promises. But again, a central shift of the circle towards Ladrilla.
Ladrillera. Look at that. It's going to be Sarkar right to the epicenter of things. They've got a little bit of a high ground to work with. And they've got enough hard compounds. But they need to divide this whole area. They need to make sure that they have eyes in all four directions. As Global Esports slowly creep in inside the circle. This time around, they made sure that the equation goes otherwise. Now they are gatekeeping the side of Reckoning, who were doing the same for them few minutes back.
Reckoning still have got a lot of time, and finally we're going to be seeing God's Reign as well jumping in. At least they're visible in the map feed because they'll be taking the entry all the way over towards the northwestern part of the circle, trailing behind GT. And FS are also there to try and shut them down in those situations, in those positions. It's going to be important because now it's going to get super messy for almost all of these teams. They're leaving the entire north out behind Beast, surviving as of now.
Sarkar down on his knees. A perfect spray coming in from the side of Global Esports. Now the question is, are they going to push? Do they want to come and contest this position? As it's got very, very good, you know, position when it comes to the overall circle. Sarkar is going to be back on his feet. He's going to heal himself up. He's just going to make sure that he holds on to his position. Whereas Reckoning versus VK, that's not a fight which we were expecting, did we?
Absolutely not. And again, it's Vikings on the receiving end. So Reckoning would want to push forward their advantage already because Mahi, the man who actually has 2 frags, being taken down. But Eren's positioning is also crucial. He can technically take one of them down. Maybe not, as Vintage just moves up in his own compound.
No.
Viper wants to jump in. Should technically take him down. And Will has to. The DBS in his own hands. It was just the battle of the shotguns, and Hunters just wants to hunt the man up on top. And Vintage will be going down as well.
Vikings, big mistakes coming from their side. They had to connect the first shot, eventually fall short, and that has costed them a lot. Only 2 players left out, and all they're going to do is tuck their tails and run away from this position. As Reckoning, the disastrous start for the side of Vikings, if you ask me. There was an opening which was not capitalized, and I was expecting Reckonings to be on the receiving end of things.
I agree with you on that part. But I think so they can try and play for the position points from this point onwards, right? Because they already have 7 finishes. But yeah, I would agree with the fact that it still is not very comfortable. On the other side, a team that has been fairly comfortable has definitely been WSB, playing their second game and still sitting on the top 10, on the 9th place. I mean, you can't really stop this team, can you?
WSB. Seems like they have set their eyes on the side of Team TL. Limra, they need to be careful. They did not have such a great day yesterday. They went down with 0 points. And there's a lot of expectations from these young guns. As now they're trying to rotate around. They're trying to place themselves in proper positions. The 2 brothers are going to stick together. It's going to be Dragon and Poco trying to stay close to one another. Bonded by blood. But the synergy, is it strong enough?
A big question, because that has definitely been for the side of WSB. Amazing in terms of holding their fort. Sending a player all the way back as well to confirm that there's no one finishing them off on their 6. And also having some good amount of covers as well. The blue is going to be hitting in the fair white line. Another circle being made. And oh my god.
Sarkar Gaming's position, I already told you this. They've got the perfect spot inside the circle. They're at the center. They have a bit of a high ground. they also have hard compound. Now, they need to watch out for Global Esports because they're very much capable of snatching this position away from them. They need to be prepared for that 4v4 battle. But I just love the rotation coming in from the side of God's Reign and WSB. Going in for the longer rotation because it seems like the zone damage is just 5 and they can sustain for a long time outside of the circle.
Yeah, they've got a good amount of utilities as well, and backing away from a fight, knowing that you now need to prioritize the circle itself, that's a smart decision and a smart play. And, you know, I love the fact how you also pointed out that God's Reign having a good rotation as well, because this team is just playing how they used to just like last year as well.
Yes.
Playing in super slow, tanking in quite a lot of those blue zones, and then moving in all the way from the parts where you know that not a lot of those teams will play. And they've got a free entry into the circle as well and will probably play in for those hills. But they've got to be worried about FS, who are basically tracing their footsteps.
I do believe that, you know, FS is going to be one of those teams who actually need to hold the center to show their actual firepower. You know, if they're trying to make sure that they're trying to fight their way into the circle, probably there's going to be casualties. Because all the teams which are alive in the lobby right now have strong crosshairs. Look at that slug. From a distance, will be able to damage the side of Raven, who are trying to come in from the western side of the map, restricting the side of Ravens. It's like the wings are cut off. Now I would like to see where the Ravens are going to land.
Absolutely. No Odin out here to save you, my buddy, says Global Esports. But at the same time, the Wolves still out there, still trying to hunt. I would also reckon that Reckoning's position is also pretty decent, to be honest. But if in case the circle moves away from them, then it's going to become even more difficult. But at the same time, we're seeing the fight now being broken down. WSB being taken down as well. CDEF, it's all down to him. He needs to take Octavius out and will be able to do so. Shotgun working out for him, but a long range support coming in. If I'm not wrong, it was Gravity. Was also fighting for a few extra shots as well. Wants to try and confirm that finish, and it's all in the hands of Trigger to try and save his teammates, which is not going to happen.
Trigger. You need to press that trigger. Come out in the open, take that fight. As the grenade is going to be falling short, it's important for Gravity Jot to do the otherwise, or else I think that could be the beginning of the end for the side of Reckoning.
Seems to be the case, but for now, it definitely seems to be a big end for WSB's run this time around, being kept quiet in the early power play stages as well. But one team that is not putting themselves out from that finish feed is definitely Raven. This time, Hurst answering back as well, and Hulk was able to take down GT as well as Phantom wants to join the fight from the side of God's Reign, and this is the strength of this team. Taking the fight over towards the edges as well, tries to catch one more, all2 finding an opening. But will Phantom finally fall? Maybe not. Sitting inside the smoke as well, as all2 in the meantime is trying to take down the members of FS one after the other. Fury should go up close and personal. Switches back between TPP and FPP as Venom will get the confirmation.
It's not going to be the end of the story, my friend. I think it's another team in the name of Global Esports who's not far away, who's trying to come in and third party over here. Even though they've done a bit of a damage, it's been a decent trade between the two. Gods need to stand up, needs to stop the other set of fools who are trying to rush in. It's going to be Global Esports for the first time down on their knees, begging to survive from here on. Will the gods be able to slay them down?
Oh my god, their nades have been just insane. Already catching 2 of the members of Global Esports. Seems like the Globals are finally falling bit by bit. And that's going to give enough time to the members of God's Reign to try and bring Fury back up on his feet. And in the meantime, Jigger was also finished out. Oh my god! Just the frag grenades were enough to take down the almost entire lineup of GE. It's Beast down on his feet as well. And Arklin wants to jump away, but he cannot. The fight is coming to him, and he's ready to answer back. Catches one. Buggy dodges it as well. Brings in the shotgun. Switches it up. Wants the confirmation, will get it. But can he answer anything more? Drops down. Drop shot. Does not work. Needs to change the weapon. Not a lot of bullets left. And it's going to be God's Reign finally answering back, but not for long as their players were taken down. And guess what? It's one blade.
Oh, one blade. They know exactly when to strike. They know exactly how to strike smoothly as well. But whereas on the other side, it's going to be a lot of fans keeping their fingers crossed as Team Z has come way too close and personal towards the side of Raven, who have a very good firepower, but that divided attention. Reaper looking at one side, whereas the other 3 are going to be looking at one person.
Arigato would definitely be thanking the gods if he survives from that position, and it's absolutely not happening today. Omega shuts him down as well, finding the opportunity, but Raven, oh my god, Hanzo has basically been stealing the souls left, right and center, takes down Galio, wants to find some more answer as well. But I think so they're in pretty decent position because they'll be gatekeeping a couple of teams out there.
No, this is the best part of Miramar. No matter how close you are, you're still far away. Raven trying to put an end for the complete squad of Team Z, but somehow a blessing in disguise for them has to be the side of Team Forever, who's just going to restrict the side of Raven at this point of time, but still continue their assault from the eastern corner of the map. They want some finishes before they end the day, and that is what their contention is going to be for the top spot, where they've got decent amount of finishes, and Raven are heavily injured as Team Limra is going to be pushing in towards them.
Limra, definitely a team we were waiting to see. Tries to go in for a few of those extra 3-pointers, but now also want to join in over towards that circle. A good knock coming in from Reaper in the meantime though. Gokul, his position's going to be crucial. He can try and find a timing, find an angle, because during that time, all the other side is where the exact action is going on.
Oh yes, it's going to be Reckoning versus Team SG. They need to be careful with what's going to happen next. One Blade, they need to acquire that position. They need to keep everybody at bay as they hold the center of the circle. But this is where two undergods are locking horns. It's going to be important for Raven to eradicate the side of Team Forever and also try to stay away from that of Limra. And I don't think so it's going to be easy for them. The last man standing, the last ray of hope. Is he going to be put down as Aimgod is heavily injured?
Absolutely, trying to pull his man back up. Hanzo will also fall. Not having a lot of soul remaining out there, and it's going to be Limra standing up on top, taking down the members of Raven. It took so much effort from so many teams to finally put these birds out from the sky, but wait a second. One Blade out there, Anonymous, fighting a few extra shots as well, and this team has been holding on to this compound since forever and are just ready to answer back every single person.
Oh no! This is not the kind of spray you would expect from a player in the final circle, but still somehow he was able to be a bit more persistent. We'll be getting one knock, but Reckoning Esports on the other side, even they're not stopping. ST will have to capitalize on Team Limra right now, or else I don't think so they're going to have a great opportunity. Reckoning versus Team Forever on one side, it's going to be SG versus Team Limra on the other.
And it's One Blade again standing up on tall. Team Forever as well, still trying to find an answer. Immortal should potentially be taken down from that Molotov. Just a bit wide, bit away. Will eventually survive, will jump back to the safety in that smoke. But for how long is going to be a big, big question. And as you're saying, One Blade is the team that every person is going to be keeping their eyes on, because this is the prime positioning for them. The prime circle. This entire compound, the best cover out here. They've got it all under their belt.
KSR down on his knees, Reckoning now, you know, this is the best time for us to say my enemy's enemy is my friend, right? Reckoning, they understood that, you know, there's another team in the hard compounds. First, let's deal with them because we know the position of the other team. So Reckoning, they're trying to play it safe. They've got 5 finishes. They have all 4 men standing. They need to strategize perfectly. Trying to gain knowledge from over the, you know, high grounds and trying to spread around in the circle as well.
KSR, Kana, Anonymous, all 3 of them remaining, and we'll have to see how strong the big Mahakal form of this Kana is. He needs to save his team, be it a blessing, or be it in the form of a disguise for the other side. But Reckoning, I mean, I love the way how they're just, you know, moving around, the carousel of victory dance, working around through that compound as well, just trying to find an opening. It's for now just a 4-way tie. I would also count in Limra in this situation, because they can also find an opportunity to try and jump in on the back of the chaos that's going to be made by Team Forever, as they've decided to make the first move.
Reckoning Esports, they understood that from a long time. Team Limra have been continuously tortured by the hands of One Blade, and that is why they're trying to go in from the other side. But Ash does the most daring job. He's always been well known for the rushes he's tried to do, but he needs to watch out for Kana from the off angle, who can put him down. But look at the eastern side of the map. The 3 players, they're waiting as the information is now going to be given to the players that there is a man lurking around in the name of Kana.
This Kana saving the Arjuna for his team, but cannot save himself from the arrow fired from the Hunter. Beautiful play coming in from Team Forever. The Molotov was absolutely brilliant. And with that, they get that opening that they needed. Just a couple of more players remaining for their side. Limra still out in the open. Super difficult for them to survive right now. In the blue, if I'm not wrong, taking a bit of damage out there. Team Forever should be the ones to take this fight, trying to take another man down. But it's also Reckoning who are in their vicinity. Will the Wolves prevail is going to be a big question.
I mean, they have a great chance if you ask me. All 4 men standing. You need to have a man advantage in the final moments of the game. Team Limra, they eventually come in the crosshairs of SG, which eventually is going to be taking him down. It's going to be Dragon, the last man standing. Poco, who's trying to run through. But KSR, he's been careful throughout so far. But burning those resources early on is just not going to favor them. Clearing out one squad. Now their attention is going to move towards the side of Team Forever.
Important as well because it's just the battle through that compound. Limra being taken out, but they definitely survive for a long time. With 4 finished points, finishing up at the 4th place in this situation. But wait a second. Gravity seems to be the first person to try and make some moves as well as KSR and Anonymous. Both of them out there. No major utilities remaining. A stun grenade. Alright, we'll see how he uses it. Can technically work out for them.
A perfect Molotov to evade KSR. Now, they knew exactly this was the time they had to strike because the circle is now going to start shrinking in. This is stage 8 which we are speaking about. The final circle which is going to come in, ladies and gentlemen. 3 different teams, a Mexican standoff between 3 of them. Let's see which team is going to be coming on top. For now, the bets have been placed on Reckoning for having all 4 men standing. But Team Forever, they have been playing with their brains. They have been trying to do their best when it comes to the opponent's mindset. So probably we can expect them also to do some wonders, trying to come in late into the final circles. But what's more important is who's going to go in for the heel battle to get that 2nd position.
It's going to be a big question out there. Hunter is the man who's having the maximum frags for the side of Reckoning. They're still waiting it out. They're still waiting for the blue to strike because there's Team Forever as well. If Reckoning makes the move first, Forever is going to win the entire engagement. If Forever makes the move first, it's going to be Reckoning. In any situation, you could say that unless a crazy outworldly play is being made by the side of One Blade, they're not going to win this one out.
Look at Team Forever. Mafia's off angle is going to be phenomenal at this point of time. I do understand that Omega will have to step out of his cover, but look at what Mafia is doing. He's giving information. If he's got a Molotov or a grenade, then the story can be so much different. But KSR, they've understood that one person will have to go in for a heal battle, whereas the other person is just going to make sure that he clears off everybody out there.
Number advantage definitely for the side of Reckoning as well, and the stalemate has stood up for a long time now. It's just the supreme calm before a Category 5 hurricane is what I'll call it right now. And you do not want to be in the center of it, and that's exactly where One Blade is. Maybe it could be the eye of the storm where they can survive. That's going to be a big thing as well. Maybe Forever, they eventually go in on a fight against the Reckoning. But man, oh man, this circle has been a blessing for all of them is what I'll say. But it's just a disguise because it's going to get disastrous for all of them.
Hunter, he's going to be the man to watch out for. If he survives, then the story can be different. But Mafia, as I said, this off angle, imagine he does damage to both the players of Team Reckoning. Clever move. Mafia was about to pop that can and he understood that the sound cue can be given away. And that's why he stays silent. He's got 3 first stage, a best view in the house. Probably he's going to heal himself for the all the 3 positions. And then probably, try to go in and take that final finish. I placed my bets on Mafia and I would ask the same for you.
I mean, at this point, I think so that could work out really well. But wait a second, finally fires a few shots as well. But Reckoning still eventually ending up surviving that. Mafia is the first one to pull that trigger, but still not catching a lot of reaction. But Hunters wants to join in the fight as well. Mafia with the UMP will catch one. And that's the silence that's been broken as Ninju falls in Viper as well. But the shotgun's reigning supreme. Immortal switches up the weapon, trying to catch one more person as well. And the answer back is there, but wait a second. It's Anonymous with the final laugh. And if I'm not wrong, it's One Blade pulling the victory out in a manner no one expected.
Fearless was this team. They played it perfectly. The one man, he was waiting for the others to fight it out. As I said, my enemies, my friend, is the simple logo you need to have on yourself, because that is going to give you the complete success. The patience paid off for them. One person going in for the heal battle, whereas the other guy is just going to wait for the final moment, jump from the window, put it to perfection. And I think this is a photo finish if you ask me. Phillips, one blade. Chicken dinner goes to a team. One blade.
Absolutely true. A phenomenal performance coming in from them. And what a hard-fought battle for both Reckoning as well as Team Forever. But unfortunately, in the midst of all that chaos, it was one blade winning it all out. And ladies and gentlemen, let's send it to Suren for the interview.
बॉस 3 टीमें बची थी स्टेज 8 में और सबसे कम चांसेस जीतने के 1 ब्लेड के थे. कैसे निकाला यार ये गेम?
हमारे एमवीपी प्लेयर्स निकाल गए गेम.
आप लोगों के बीच में क्या कुछ बात भी चल रही थी या यू वर जस्ट गोइंग फॉर इट?
हम तो सारे बस जोन हम पे था, बाकी प्लेयर्स बस वही था विश्वास की निकाल लेंगे, और एनोनिमस ने कर भी दिया लास्ट में 1v3.
हाँ,
हमें पूरी होप थी कि हम एंड में 1v2 या 1v3 कर सकते थे. हमारे एकदम फेवर में हुई चीज़ें सारी.
कल 2 मैचेस हैं, कल किसको टारगेट करने का प्लान है?
कल वो तो कल ही सोचेंगे.
आज कोई नहीं सोच रहा?
नहीं, आज किसी को नहीं.
मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि अभी भी थोड़ा सा शौक में हो. ये इसने मेरे को स्टार्टिंग में ही बोल दिया था कि नहीं.
क्या चीज़?
कि नहीं उनसे बात करो, तो मेरे को उनकी तरफ धकेल रहे थे.
एक्चुअली हमारे एमवीपी प्लेयर है, सोचे उनका आना जरूरी है सबके सामने. हमारे फेस हैं वो.
ओके लिसन, आज के स्टार्ट के पहले, क्योंकि आप लोग क्वालिफायर्स के रास्ते से आए हो, तो शायद बहुत लोगों के लिए आप लोग फेवरेट्स नहीं थे, चाहे कोई भी मैच हो, पहला हो या दूसरा हो. हाउ डज दैट फील कि सबको तुमने बिल्कुल चुप किया है?
वही है हमारा, हम गेम प्ले से ही सबको चुप कराने पे विश्वास रखते हैं. हम कंट्रोवर्सी वगैरह में तो जाते नहीं, बस अपने गेम प्ले से ही सबको चुप कराएंगे.
ब्रिलियंटली डन यार. 1 ब्लेड यहाँ मीरामार में मैच नंबर 2 जीते हुए. अ लिटिल ब्रेक, बातें जारी रहेंगी.
Wow. Circle to search. Only on Android.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Another day, another road, and we go. A ride with a win, moving up, we know where to begin. Wicked on the wheels, get wicked on the wheels. On a ride we go. Wicked on the wheels, get wicked on the wheels. Another day, another road, and we go.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage.
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. 2x brightening power. With charcoal and vitamin C, deeply cleanses dirt and pollution to fight dullness for instantly bright skin. Garnier Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. By Garnier Men.
Shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it, shave it.
What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? Philips One Blade. Move fearlessly. Innovation and you. Philips.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenger. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Celebrate every second you are alive. Life has no rule books, but we can give you a stage. Red Bull gives you wings.
そんな場所だ全部壊してみっか俺は塔のてっぺんに登るんだ
Everywhere I go, dirt and pollution dull my skin.
Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash with charcoal and vitamin C. Deeply cleanses dirt and pollution for instantly bright skin. Try the #1 men's face wash in India. Garnier Men Turbo Bright Double Action Face Wash by Garnier Men.
What's up, everyone? Come on in.
I got 100 ways that I could make you look. You cannot read me, I ain't no page in a book. But there's 100 ways that I could make you look.
Wow.
Make you look.
Wow.
Look, make you look.
To live your life the way you want. Compete like the toughest challenge.
Man, I mean, imagine gameplay so cold that even we are feeling the shivers down our spine. What a performance by One Blade in that last engagement. That was just a massacre happening out all around.
Oh yes, defying the odds is exactly what they did in the final moments where all our attention was caught towards the team with the highest number of people standing.
True.
It was this team who played it so cleverly. All they knew was, you know, just wait for everybody to fight it out. The final finish is going to be in our name with the chicken dinner.
You know, they were just enjoying so much in that situation that you can do whatever you want on those lower floors. You know who's going to prevail, the one who's on the first and who's on the top. Showing such a fearless run. But honestly, with how this entire map started right away from the get-go as well, we could clearly see that, yes, all the teams, specifically GT as well as Team Xbox, they kind of wanted to go on the aggressive.
Yeah, they've done the decent job, or they've done the job for the art, right? They know that they might be qualifying, or they will be qualifying into the next round.
True.
So they were like, we'll go all out and see how much we can push our firepower. And eventually it was not just them. Vikings were also trying to do the same. But the only team which was kind of successful in whichever thread they pulled were Reckoning Esports.
100% agreed with you on that point. And I kind of wanted to point out as well a situation where, yes, even though the circle was not onto them, it was always forming on the side of One Blade. They also had a perfect opportunity at the rotation as well, because there were not a lot of contention going on for their positions too. And that's what happened. The only fight that they took was at the end against Forever, and that too they won. So it's Reckoning who were on the second and Forever on third.
Oh yes, and I really would love to see, you know, some more of such action to take place in this tournament. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are enjoying it, please do not be selfish. I've been saying this to you guys. I know you're enjoying the moment, but share it among your friends so that they can join us right here at Star Sports.
Absolutely true. And the man who was, I mean, you could say the last man standing, the man who became the savior for the side of One Blade, or the hero of One Blade, avenger of One Blade, definitely. The name says it all. Anonymous. We've got no clue about that. Honestly, it's just the joke and it's just the wordplay. But what a way this guy played.
6 finishes, 6 valuable finishes if you ask me. Because a lot of expectations were there on other teams. And they were like, probably this is not the team which might outshine the rest of them. But they proved themselves right. As they clearly told in the interview that they are worthy of watching out for.
Absolutely correct, and I really feel like that they were kind of using that Garnier's Men face wash as well at the same time, because they had their gamer faces on as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be moving on to the moments of the day, the fearless moments of the day.
Oh yes, it's starting off as Sensei had given out a lot of information about his team as well, and then it was the limelight was already on 8-bit from the get-go itself, because they were the team to watch out for. Because of their aggression, they had already put 35 points on the table. They knew the average was already being met, so all they had to do was replicate some finishes in this game. The first game was a perfect start for them with a valuable 10-pointer.
And they were only 2 points short even in the second game itself, which we mentioned as well. So yeah, I think so. They never shy away from any kind of fight whatsoever. Another team that did not shy away from some of the crucial fights was definitely Global Esports as well. Quite a lot of those situations, there were some certain moments where I thought that this team might eventually take the space away from OneBlade and then basically move and take care of the compounds themselves and technically try and get that chicken, but just did not happen as well. But does not even matter, because the team who shined the most is the one who's got a spark in their name.
Oh yes, and in the map of Miramar it was otherwise, if you ask me. I do understand that, you know, it was important for the side of Team Xpark to show their spark yet again, but it seems like, you know, there was a lack of synergy. The only reason I'm saying this is they did not stick together. They went in one player at a time, and GT was ready for it. But this was the moment of the day where we had OneBlade, smiles on their faces, thumbs up coming up.
They were super happy, as you already mentioned, smiles on their faces, because again, all the predictions were that I don't think so this team is going to win. Even I mentioned the exact same thing, that if in case Reckoning move forward, they should be able to win through the numbers advantage.
Exactly.
If Forever moves forward, they should be able to take care of OneBlade, and then we'll potentially see Reckoning jump in as well. And they kind of did the same thing, but it was Team Forever fighting against Reckoning just because of the Mafia's position, which you mentioned. Man, oh man, I fumbled my words, but Anonymous definitely did not fumble in that clutch.
Oh, hopefully we'll be able to see some more of such moments, but standout player of the day, this is where everything came down, because 8-Bit were looking like they're going to be unstoppable, but eventually Sarang did place that molly to perfection, even though he got taken down, and then moments came where, you know, he had to outshine the opponents, and Ninja Jot from the top was able to seal the deal. And probably he's going to be that person to, you know, snatch away that limelight to be the standout player of the day.
Oh, it could also be Sarang as well, right? Because the man was just outperforming everyone from every single situation. But let's throw it back to Suren as well on stage. Who's ready with the interview?
ये हमारे जो सभ्य लड़के हैं वो इतनी तारीफ कर रहे हैं तुम्हारी, राइट? जॉनी, फिक्सेस, साथ में क्रैट, तुम्हें विश्वास नहीं हो रहा था इनकी बात पे जब इन्होंने बोला कि यकीन नहीं हो रहा था कि OneBlade जीत जाएगा ये आखिरी मीरामार वाला मैच?
मैंने तो एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं किया था कि वो लोग जीत जाएंगे, क्योंकि हमारा ऐसा हम बैठे बैठे से सोच रहे थे कौन जीतेगा। मैं बोल रहा था कि RG, सारंग बोल रहा है एक। फिर मैंने जब लास्ट को देखा कि इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा खेला, मतलब 2 बंदे बचे थे और बहुत ही बढ़िया खेला, और उनका पहला टाइम एक्सपीरियंस है, तो अच्छा लगा कि वो लोग इतना बढ़िया से वो सिचुएशन संभाले।
या तुम लोग सेकंड हो लीडर बोर्ड पे, एक भी चिकन डिनर नहीं है, तो किस सोच के साथ उतरे थे? बिकॉज जैसा उन लोगों ने बोला, जहाँ आते हो वहाँ पे सिर्फ तबाही दिखती है।
हम तो ये सोच के आए थे आज कि अगर ड्रॉप फाइट मिल जाए तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। हम फुल प्रिपेयर हो गए थे कि ड्रॉप फाइट लेंगे। अगर ड्रॉप फाइट नहीं मिलती तो पहले जोन में हमको जो भी टीम दिखेगी उनसे हम फाइट लेने ही जाएंगे, क्योंकि हमारा मेन फोकस था फिनिशर्स पहले जोन में। तो हम उस पर जैसे पहले ही फिनिशर्स मिल गया, फिर उसके बाद हम सोचे कि चिकन के लिए, बट हाँ आ नहीं पाया, चलेगा, बट फिर भी पॉइंट्स बहुत आ गए।
एंड ऑफ द डे है टीम स्पोर्ट, लेकिन कहते हैं कि इंडिविजुअल ब्रिलियंस जो है वो हमेशा काम आती है। पर्सनली जब तुम उतरते हो इस टीम के साथ, तो किस थॉट के साथ उतरते हो? क्या प्लान होता है तुम्हारा कि मैं आज यहाँ पे ये करने की कोशिश करूँगा?
मैं तो ये सोचता हूँ कि मैं जितना से जितना हो सके अपनी टीम को सपोर्ट करूँगा, कि जिससे हमारा गेम जो है वो कन्वर्ट हो गए चिकन के लिए, क्योंकि फिनिशेस इतना मेरे लिए मैटर नहीं करता। मेरे लिए मैटर करता है कि हमारी टीम कैसे वो चिकन निकाले और कितना ईजीली मैं उनको उस जगह पे कवर दे सकता हूँ या हेल्प कर सकता हूँ, जिससे मेरी टीम के 4 बंदे हम लास्ट तक जिंदा रहे।
सच बता भाई, फिनिशेस गिने अपने?
नहीं, सच्ची में नहीं।
मैं बताऊँ कितने थे?
कितने?
गेस तो कर।
मीरामार में तो मेरे शायद कुछ 5 या कुछ उसके आसपास थे, तो मतलब टोटल वही 7 तक हो गए होंगे। 7
नहीं यार, यही तो प्रॉब्लम है, यही तो प्रॉब्लम है भाई, अपने आप को अंडर प्ले कर रहा है। 9 फिनिशेस थे भाई, और इसीलिए आज स्टैंड आउट प्लेयर ऑफ द डे निंजा जॉट ऑफ टीम एक्सपार्क। एंड बैक टू दीज बॉयज जो वापस अपना सभ्य रूप दिखाएंगे। There you go.
Hey, we're also here, right? You can also point towards us, but it's absolutely fine, right? All fun and games out there, specifically for Ninja. I mean, man was having so much fun out there.
Yeah, and you know, 9 finishes on a single day, and with most of it coming in from the power plays itself.
Absolutely true. But again, let's have a look at the one who's having such a phenomenal finish. The Wicked style coming in for the Iron Man edition of TVS Raider. I mean, even the players of Carnival Gaming sitting on that were looking so very fiery, even if they did not have such a great game today.
Yeah, you know, you need to have reasons to smile, and this vehicle is one of those. Even if you're having a bad day, just go on a ride with it, and probably you're going to be one person who's not going to sleep sad.
One team that's never going to sleep sad is going to be 8-Bit today. I mean, 53 points already. X-Spark following up closely with 43 by getting that banger of a 30-point game. But forever, again, today's day was such a phenomenal one for them. A chicken dinner in one and the third position in the next. They've got 30 points for themselves.
You know what, catching my eye, 8-Bit's finish points, 43 finish points itself shows that this team was not bothered about the top position. But whereas on the other side, it's good to see that, you know, Team Forever has slowly climbed up the ladder. They have another game to go, probably a 20-pointer. They could be the strong contenders for the top position itself. WSB Gaming, you know, I was expecting a lot better from them after the match one, but you know what? They still have got 2 more games in their hand, and hopefully we'll be able to see them perform much better.
But some teams that do not have 2 more games